Welcome back. Now we have a couple words from our sponsors. First, a video.
Working at the Yeti, making shirts for charity. Long hours in the warehouse, spreading the love and helping out. Spreading the love and helping out. Screen printed, decorating those tees. They're so beautiful and so comfortable.
Standby is a newly released fast-paced platformer on Steam. $1 from each copy sold of Standby goes directly to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. An easy-to-pick-up but hard-to-master fast-paced platformer with precise controls, you can get Standby now on Steam with a 15% launch discount. Pinball Joe has provided pinball machines for AGDQ attendees to play for free, which you can see featured on the Pinball Done Quick sidestream at twitch.tv/pinballjoe. Welcome back to Awesome Games 2017. In a couple minutes, we will be going to an interview with the Japanese runners from our Kirby Superstar race, Suzuri Bako and ZZZ Honky with Golden. We have a $500 donation from Slow Motion Flowers. So excited for the DKC race. Put this to Proto Magical Girl's choice. Lost levels, 2P1C. We have a $120 donation from Joey Muller. Don't think I could match 12,000 deaths to the dollar, but here it is to the cent. Kill the animals. All right, now we are going to go over to our interview with the Japanese racers from the Kirby Superstar race.
Thank you. I am here at the interview desk with our Japanese speedrunners of AGDQ 2017. We have Suzuri-san, and of course we have ZZZ Honki-san as well. And Ethan will be doing some translating for us. My first question to both of you is, what is it like playing on the AGDQ stage?
2人ともへの質問ですけど、この大きなステージの上に、この大勢の人の前に、どういう印象ですか？プレイすることどういう印象ですか？どうぞ。やっぱりとてもすごい緊張しました。最初は心臓がすごいドキドキしてて、でももう途中からちょっとずつ慣れてきて、いつも通りのプレーができるようになった感じ。
So at first, being up on a stage this big, my heart was actually pounding and I was really nervous. But then I got to a point where I was able to calm down and play the way I normally play.
Okay. And Suzuri-san?
私もとても緊張していたんですけれども、そうですね、昨日もゲームをやらせていただいたので、そこまで緊張していたわけではなかったです。
So I was also pretty nervous at the beginning too, but I did have a run yesterday. So, I guess maybe that helped and my nerves were a bit less than I thought they'd be for this one.
Okay. Now I understand that Honki-san's got ZZZ at the start of his name, and I think it was only fitting because minutes before the run we found out that Honki was taking a little bit of a nap. And I want to know, do you usually wake up and play? Was that part of your training? You just wake up and show up and you do really well?
本気さんの名前の前にZZZ ってあるんじゃないですか。で、このレースの前に、ちょっと軽く昼寝してたとちょっと聞きましたが、それがスピードランニングするときはそれが普通ですか？トレーニングとか作戦の一つですか？
No. もちろん起きてるつもりでいたんだけど、本当に直前で、I'm sleeping.
Yeah. So I was trying my hardest to stay awake, but just before the race, I nodded off, and I just fell asleep.
So what did it feel like to win the Kirby Superstar race against Countdown Used Pizza and Suzuri-san?
今回のレースも優勝したんですけど、カウントダウンさん、ユーストピザさん、数字さんに勝ってどういう印象ですか？
とても嬉しいのはもちろんですけど、もちろん勝つためにここに来ましたので、でもやっぱ勝って嬉しい。
本気ですね。
Yeah.
Well, he was really happy to win, but then again, that's why I came here. I came here to win. And
Wow.
I'll point out, just kind of saying myself, the other half of his name, Honki, in Japanese means for reals, like
Yeah.
serious. So he's sleepy, but he's also super serious.
I actually talked to Honki-san right before the race, and he'd been practicing for about 5 minutes on this one TV, and he turned off the TV, unplugged the console, and stood up, and he was smiling ear to ear, and he just said, I know I'm gonna win. I know it.
レースの前に5分間ぐらいでテレビで練習したんですけど、でそれをオフしてもう勝つとなんか笑いながら言いました。ゴールデンさんが面白いと思いました。
なんか直前にそんなに練習するつもりがなかったから、ちょっとミックスの練習してもう今日はいけるなって思いました。
So yeah, I didn't want to practice too much before the run, but there was the mix techniques that we were doing, and I wanted to practice that a little bit. And so I felt like I had it, and so I just kind of wanted to call it good there.
Now, both of these runners here have played at RTA in Japan, which is an event that kind of the first big speedrunning event that was live in Japan, and that was only a couple of weeks ago. I want to know, what is the difference between playing at RTA in Japan and playing here, or maybe even just what's the difference between being at RTA in Japan and being here? What are the experiences like?
2人ともは2週間ほど前の RTA in Japan というイベントにも参加したとゴールデンさんが言ってましたが、AGDQ まで来て、イベントにいることはどうやって比べるんですか？印象とか。
そうですね。RTA in Japan はやはり去年初めてやったイベントだったので、規模を比べるとやっぱり AGDQ の方がすごい参加者も多ければホテルも貸し切っていたりして、いずれは日本の RTA in Japan もそんな感じに大人数でできるようになればいいなと個人的に思います。
Yeah, it was really cool to participate in RTA in Japan, and for me that was my first time going to a speedrunning event. The scale is obviously not as big as AGDQ. I mean, here, we've got this big hotel, all these people are here. I think they even, rented out all the rooms, and I really hope that in the future we can get an event approaching this size in Japan as well.
I hope so too.
Yeah. どうですか？同じ質問で。
僕もやっぱ差は今はすごい大きいと思うけど、でも RTA in Japan は初めてにしてはすごいしっかりしたイベントだったと思うので、これから続けていけばすぐ AGDQ みたいな大きなイベントになるかなとちょっと期待を込めて。
Yeah, it was, like you mentioned, the first kind of event like that in Japan, but while the scale is different, I think they actually did a really good job for their first time. It seemed like it was run pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can kind of catch up pretty quickly and see events more along this scale in the future in Japan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I would love to see it continue to grow.
同感です。
I have another question for Suzuri-san. So you still are playing actually in the Trilogy race that's coming up here. How do you feel about that race?
この後 DK のレースにも参加することになるんですけど、どういう気持ちですか？
そうですね。カービィの先ほどのレースではちょっと悔しい思いをしたので、次こそは絶対に勝ちたいなと思います。
So yeah, that's right. I was kind of frustrated with my play in the previous Kirby race, so now I'm determined to have a better performance and win this one out. So
Sounds good. And I guess a final question from me for both of you. We'll get to Twitter questions in just a second. But I'm wondering, once the race is over and you have some free time here on the weekend, do you have any plans? Do you want to hang out with people, or what are you looking to do at AGDQ after the runs are over?
これはゴールデンから最後の質問で、この後ツイッターからの質問もあるんですけど、週末とかになれば、今はなんかレースとかイベントが最中ですけど、この週末とか暇の時間はあるんですか？であれば何をするつもりですか？まずは本当に。
I will sleep.
I think that's appropriate.
No translation
yes.
necessary?
No, I will sleep.
Okay.
私は観光とかに行ってみたいですね。
Want to go see some of the sightseeing spots? Yeah.
Okay, excellent. We have a lot of questions here on Twitter. We sent out a question asking for viewers to send in their questions. Now, the first question I see, a couple of these are similar here, so I'm going to show them both.
Okay.
Our first question here says, how many controllers do you wreck a year? And that's not the only one. We had another one here. If I hit the next one here, let's see. How many controllers have you gone through speedrunning Kirby Superstar? So a lot of people want to know, do you break your controllers when you play this game?
コントローラーを壊すことについてなんですけど、1年にどれぐらいコントローラーを壊すんですか？また今回のは、カービィスーパースターをスピードランニングやり始めてから何個壊したんですか？
1年にでも変えるのは1回か2回、2回も変えないです。だから、今カービィの RTA やってて5年ぐらいやってるけど、ちょうど5個か6個ぐらい今までコントローラーを変えてます。
So I probably go through one or two, maybe not two, controllers a year, and I've been running Kirby for 5 years, so I think I've gone through about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
私はスーパーファミコンを買った時の当時の最初についてる2つをずっと今も使ってます。
今です。So actually, I'm still using the same 2 controllers that came with my Super Famicom when I bought it when the system came out.
Wow. Okay. I mean, most people, when we think of Kirby Superstar, you see the violent motions that you have to make. And
he must be pretty hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a look at another question here. Here we go. This one is from Thomas, and he says, that was a fantastic race. How long do you practice on average to get that level of consistency?
素晴らしいレースでした。そこまでスムーズに同じ結果が出るようにどれほど練習してるんですか？平均例えば週に何時ぐらい平均的に練習してるんですか？
目標の記録があるときは、記録狙いをするときは毎日 4,5 時間ぐらいはもうほぼ毎日絶対やってました。
Okay. So yeah, when I've got a goal, like a time that I'm trying to beat, I will basically make it a rule to practice 4 or 5 hours a day, like every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Yeah. When he's serious about beating a time.
Right.
私もそうですね。いい記録を出そうと思った時だけやってた感じなので、そこまで。今後と詰めてやったわけじゃないですね。
Yeah, I mean, I really only get serious about practicing when I've got a goal to beat as well. So, but I'm probably not doing quite as much practice as Honki-san.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So many questions. I love that there's a lot of interest here. This is, I think, an appropriate question. I mean, it is a long distance that you had to travel here. Were you nervous coming to America to do these runs?
まあはるばるアメリカのずっとアメリカまで来てやっぱり緊張したんですか？このアメリカまでスピードランニングするために来て緊張したんですか？
もちろんすごい緊張したんですけど、他のスピードランナーに会えるのが楽しみだったのもあるので、まあ緊張半分楽しさ半分。
So yeah, I was nervous. アメリカ初めてだったんですね。So it's his first time in America. So I was pretty nervous, but the thing balancing that out was that I was really excited to meet all these speedrunners that I've been communicating with.
Yeah.
So I was half nervous and half really excited.
そうですね、私もアメリカに来るのが初めてですけれども、やっぱりあんまり英語も喋れないんですけれども、皆さん優しくていい人だなと思いましたね。
Yeah, for me, it's also my first time in America, and I was nervous, but my impression on coming here is that wow, everybody's super nice, so that kind of put me at ease.
Awesome. Yeah. I've got another one here. This one is from the Sergeant Scyther, I think that is. After Superstar, what's your favorite Kirby game?
まあスーパースターの後、スーパースター以外はどういうカービィゲームが一番好きですか？
So Kirby 64 or I like Amazing Mirror too.
Oh, Amazing Mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kirby 64.
Okay.
Kirby's Dream Runs 3.
Kirby Dream Run 3. Yeah, we saw that in the marathon as well.
You raced that before this. Yeah.
Okay. I've seen a lot of questions along this line here, so I'll show a few of these too. Boss Crab wants to know how much Kirby merch does Honky own? And we've also got another one here that's along the same line. How many Kirby goods do you have?
So, まずはボスクラブさんから本気さんへどれほどカービィグッズを持ってるんですか
20 or no 30?
20 or 30?
No, 40?
40?
Yeah, 50?
50.
60?
Oh.
Wow, that's awesome.
About 100. Yeah.
About 100.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a lot of merchandise.
Suzuri-san, do you have any
私
Kirby
は
stuff?
カービィ T シャツを2枚持ってるだけですね。
Just 2 Kirby shirts.
Okay. That sounds more like me, I think. We've got one final question here. I think this is appropriate because it is coming from a fellow Japanese speedrunner here. This is from Hoishin, and he wants to know, what is your favorite anime?
一番好きなアニメ。
光の碁っていうアニメ。
光の碁
Yeah.
光の碁 I don't know that, but you
Hikaru
look
no
like
Go.
you know it.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
悠々しき。
悠々しき悠々しき
Yushiki. Okay. Excellent. I want to show off some prizes here that we've got coming up as well.
Okay.
So we've got the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy relay race coming up, and if you donate during that block, you'll have a chance to win some prizes. So first of all, we have these. I don't know if you can see these kind of. Yeah, there we go. Zoom technology there. We've got these Donkey Kong trading cards. A very excellent collection here,
なんかもらえる
and they have information on the back as well. So just show kind of the front there. You can see. And then on the back,
those
they
like the old school ones?
yes,
Nice.
absolutely, Nintendo Power. So information on the back of these cards as well about each of the characters. And we also have, very fittingly, we have a set of bananas on a perler there. So a pair of prizes there. And then one more prize that I want to mention, as we see some stage hands behind me rise up to reveal a banner that you can win. There we go. That looks lovely. The Awesome Games Done Quick banner. You can donate for that all night long, not just the Trilogy relay race. So you have plenty of chances to donate to win that as well. But please stay tuned. We do have the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy relay race coming up next. Suzuri-san will be on that. Yes, let's give some quick shout-outs here for the Japanese runners if they'd like to shout anybody out.
シャウトアウトしたいんですか
シャウトアウトっていうと、
例に
レディー
まあはいとか言いたい人。
日本人の皆さんも、AGDQ の会場にいる皆さんもぜひ見てみてください。
So for the upcoming race, all the people in Japan who may be watching, as well as everybody here at the AGDQ event, I really hope you're looking forward to seeing it. 誰かいますか？挨拶したい人。
応援してくれた日本のみんなにありがとうと、そして、勝ちましたと。I win. I won.
So yeah, for everybody watching and supporting me in Japan, I did it. I won. And I'll just shout out my buddy Nanashu real quick.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the translation, Ethan, and Suzuri-san and Honki-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for the interview.
Thanks.
We will throw it back up to the front. I believe the Trilogy relay race is about to start very shortly.
All right, everybody. So before we get to the relay race here, I know everybody's looking forward to this. Going to get through a couple of more donations here. We have from Iona $143 saying, "Great run, Stonky." And $143 for 143 deaths in Not Another Needle Game, keeping my promise. Good luck, everyone, in your upcoming runs from Anonymous. SB121 donates $100, says, "Been watching GDQ for a few years, first time donating. 2 of my relatives were diagnosed with cancer in 2016, and with this terrible disease hitting so close to home, I figured this would be a great opportunity to finally chip in for the cause. Here's hoping our collective efforts lead to a cure." Some more support for Stonk here. We have Yuza donating $143 as well. Great run, Stonk, he says. Sparkle Dawn donates $100, says, "Love you, Stonkerino. So glad to see your epic fan game skills at the GSQ, along with your beautiful faces. Donation to Runner's Choice." Phantom Power donates $50, says, "Needed to donate during a guy game run because hard platformers are my favorite games. Stomping cancer is worth as many spike deaths as it takes." Mr. Choka donates $50 from overseas. "Hey, AGDQ, as a Frenchman, I had to donate for Stinky Cheese's run. This might not be the most famous game, but this run has something special that makes me really enjoy it. Keep up the great work." Revanche 900 says, "This is for my friends and family I've lost. I'm so happy to see Not Another Needle Game at AGDQ. Good luck, Stinky." And that was for a $100 donation. Lord Pender donates $50 and says, "Wow, Stinky dude, you really did it big. If I had more money, I'd give more. Keep on shining, you crazy diamond." Zarek donates $15 and says, greetings from Australia. Good luck on the run, Stonk. It's time to raise those cat bags and beat cancer." We have Robit Games donating $50. Says, "Been watching AGDQ all week while working. Amazed by skill displayed by all the speedrunners. Happy to donate to this great cause. P.S. Save the animals. It's what a true hero would do." Dr. Watson Doctor donates $100 and says, "I'm going to be at work during the Dark Souls 3 run, but I need to see this glitch exhibition, even if it's just in the VODs. Love what you guys do." Catherine donates $110, says, "Congratulations on another great event. Looking forward to the day all cancers are curable and even preventable." Billy Ray Sirius donates $75. "First AGDQ, and I've been watching off and on all week. So the least I can do is donate some money, and this can go to Runner's Choice. Mashiro, or Mash Hero 250, donates $50. Thank you guys for the countless hours of entertainment. I have been watching since 2014, and I love everything you guys do for a great cause. Keep up the amazing work, and $1 million hype. Anonymous donates $15. Simple message. Thank you all. Have a nice week. Minis485 donates $100 and says, lost my grandmother to cancer. So here's to preventing it in the future. Anonymous donates $20, says, longtime watcher, first time I have had the money to donate to this awesome event. I know it's not a lot, but every little gets us one step closer to beating cancer. P.S. Kill the animals. Will Jammy donates $75. Once again from overseas. Great running for great cause. First time watching and donating. Keep up the good work by saving the animals. Greetings from Finland. Thank you again to everybody overseas watching. Victini donates $75. Thanks for the good cause. My best friend's mom is battling her best against cancer. May this be a bit of help. Aliengar donates $75. I'm always waiting for AGDQ and SGDQ every year, and I'm always happy to donate my money for those great causes. Keep going. The $1 million will be raised this night. Love from France. We've got a few anonymous donations here. One for $30. Lost both my grandfathers to cancer, so I could only watch for so long before feeling compelled to donate. Kill the animals in interest of keeping the bid war close. DS3 file name Lobos Jr. because Lobos Jr. Another anonymous for $10. You guys are awesome. Yes, you too, Twitch chat. And another anonymous $5. Here's my $5. And every time I've watched AGDQ, we always have saved the animals. Let's kill them this time. And again, any amount helps. $5, $10, $100, any amount is very much appreciated. It's for a great cause. Also enters you into a bunch of prizes, particular for this Donkey Kong Country run. $5 will enter you into a chance to win the Bananas Perler keychain and some Donkey Kong Country 2 trading cards. $10 gives you the chance to win a Donkey Kong Perler. And if you donate up to $75, you have the chance to win the PS4 Pro VR bundle with 10 games. So Jag the Panther donates $10 and says, hey guys, I'd like to say I love these events and what we are trying to do here. Thanks to the runners and everyone who's donated. Definitely share that sentiment. Thank you very much. Der Muffin Man donates $20.17. It's a little bit late, but I had to donate during this game, so Happy New Year. Crush the games, crush the cancer, and kill the animals. Minty Fruits donates $10. Great event. It's wonderful to see other games rally behind such a critical cause. Keep running and let's beat cancer. Edward107 donates $6.39. Hi there. I'm pretty sure this is where to send to the Prevent Cancer thing, but here I go. I actually had a friend who had a cancer-like disease known as LCH. She's currently in remission. Anyway, I hope this helps. OG Crunksta donates $75. What's up, gamers? This is my first time donating, and I'm proud that my favorite hobby is being used for charity. Keep it up. And absolutely agreed. Real Dip donates $5. My mother recently diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, we caught it at an early stage and there is a high chance of her recovering completely. I just had to give some of my money so others might have a better chance of catching it early, like my mother did. And all right, guys, I know everybody is eager for this race, so let's get this underway. It's the Donkey Kong Country Relay.
That's called projecting. All right, there we go. Who's hype? Who's hype? Let's do it again. All right, say. All right, settle down. It's going to be a long race. All right, DKC 1, 2, and 3, all done back to back. 3 teams for you guys. We got over here on your right side of the screen, we got Team Diddy. Let's hear it for them. Representing Team Diddy, we got playing DKC 1 over here, we got Eason. He openly admitted to me before the race that he did, in fact, cry at the end of Titanic. We got Eason, give it up. His teammate, running DKC 2 and top flight runner at many Super Nintendo titles, including Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country 2, and Super Metroid. We got my boy, Waffle 42. Finally, their anchor, my boy Supreme. You know his favorite Pokemon? It's Totodile. Let's give it up. Here in the center, we got Team Dixie already up, getting prepped up. We have got Favlo. You know what? He's probably better at you than skateboarding. He's basically a modern day Tony Hawk. Give it up. Got an awesome guitar shredder over here. Playing DKC2, we got my boy Canis. And their anchor playing Donkey Kong Country 3 and also top flight Mario Galaxy Runner in addition to other 3D Marios, we got Nocturne. Finally, on the left side of your screen, we have got not only a great DKC 1 runner for Team Kitty, we have also got a top 20 in the world Super Smash Bros. Melee player. Let's hear it for Silent Wolf. Running Donkey Kong Country 2 for Team Kitty over here on the far right, we have got a man who put 10,000 hours into Donkey Kong Country 2. Give it up for Void! And finally, representing the great state of Japan, we've got Suzuri right here. And a reminder, everyone, Suzuri wants to know that Kirby is, in fact, cute. Let's hear it for all our runners. Best of luck. Let's send it over to the commentary team. We got Antilles 58, Mr. Zara the Mant, and the Claude. Send it over, boys.
All right. All right, I am indeed Antilles 58, and right here with me are...
Mr. Zara the Mint.
And Claude. I don't remember about the Claude. Just Claude. It's fine.
Claude's fine.
Yeah,
so, what are you guys looking for in this race?
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of rolling monkeys, a lot of bananas, a lot of warp barrels, and a whole lot of fun, too.
I'm looking for the frame perfect tricks, man. I just want to see who can press the button at the right time.
We have a lot of frame perfect tricks, that for sure. And so we have 3 teams here. They're added up, their total PBs are separated by less than 40 seconds. We had a practice race earlier that was decided by less than 30 seconds. So, I mean, we could have a very, very exciting race tonight. So, with that, I guess we'll just go ahead and throw it back over to runners and get this thing underway.
Let's do it.
All right. And I will go ahead and give the countdown in a few moments. These guys get ready. All right, Team Kitty is good to go. Dixie, Diddy, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! And just like that, welcome to Donkey Kong Country. And here we start with Donkey Kong rolling through the country. He grabs Diddy Kong, and just like that, we say goodbye to Donkey Kong. So you might have noticed we don't have a Team Donkey, and the main reason for that is we're not going to be using a lot of him. Pretty much if you ever see them using Donkey in this run, they're either doing a setup or are in a lot of trouble. Because what do we say about Donkey, Zara?
Well, if you're Donkey, you're dead.
Yeah. So watch for that throughout the run. This game is probably the most pure platforming of all three of the Donkey games. It's basically just rolling and jumping with Diddy. Having Donkey not only is slower for movement, but he also loses time on the world map.
Yeah, 10 frames each time.
10 frames every time you have Donkey on the world map, so they will have him as little as possible.
And right here we see them going into a bonus. It's actually just faster than playing the stage normally. You only do that twice in the run.
Correct.
Yep, we are doing the all stages category of this game, which means they'll be going through every single stage as quickly as possible, including the bosses.
Yeah, there is a faster glitch category you can beat in about 8 minutes, but for the purposes of relay, we're just gonna do an all stages run.
One thing to look for at the end of every stage is Diddy starts to do that little dance, and they're able to cut that short by mashing the face buttons.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh,
Quick, early death
death
for Team Diddy. He'll recover fairly quickly from that. But as I was saying, they can cut that fanfare short by mashing the face buttons at the end of the stage. That can save up to a minute over the course of the run, so pretty important thing.
Exclusive to the NA 1.0, 1.1 versions, and
Correct.
PAL versions, I believe, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Hell 1.0.
All right, Kitty, the first out of 1-3. Moving on to our first water stage of the game. We'll be seeing a lot of water stages tonight, and all of them are deceptively difficult. They might seem a little less fast-paced, a little less exciting, but they're probably the most likely places that you can lose time throughout the entire game.
Yeah, across all the games, like the movement in water is actually very complex. Like it looks like you're just like holding forward and just swinging about, but cutting the corners and just making sure your movement is crisp as possible. That's how you gain time in the water levels.
Yep.
So this is our swordfish friend, On Guard, and a lot of people don't really like him in DKC1.
I hate the fish.
Yeah.
I really hate the fish.
He's pretty bad in DKC1. Like I'm a big On Guard fan, especially in DKC3 where he's like overpowered.
Still
but,
hate the fish.
In this version, yeah, it's very easy for him to take damage while lunging, so he has to be pretty careful when just trying to dodge all the enemies.
Yep, but pretty easy water stage for these guys. Moving on to 1-4, which is the 1-5, which is the introduction of the blast barrel stages. Something this game series is known for and has caused many a child several nightmares. They're just going to be blasting through them quickly, though there are some shortcut barrels near the top.
Correct.
We're also going to be seeing something called an extended roll here, Zara. What are we looking for?
Right here on Team Kitty's screen. Okay.
Very nice.
Okay, Team Dixie gets it, and Team Diddy's coming up for it right now. All right, excellent.
Very,
All
very
three
nice.
of them got it.
Solid.
Absolutely. That's one of the...
And now we're coming up to the World 1 boss. The bosses in this game, kind of a joke. I mean, look at this guy. He's just bouncing around. You jump on him and he's like, oh, back pain, spinal injury.
It's very clear that Rare didn't put much work into the bosses in DKC1. Not really in DKC2 either, but although they stepped it up a bit for DKC3.
Yeah, we'll definitely get a little more into that for that game.
So that extended roll we saw in Barrel Canyon was pretty good, but there's another really big extended roll right here at the beginning of this stage.
Yeah, if you don't know how an extended roll works, is you just release Y right before you're about to hit an enemy, then repress Y, and essentially you get another roll. it's the main mechanic of the game, and it's the main reason that what people actually run this game, because the movement's very interesting.
Yep, it's very technical. Every stage has very precise times when you're supposed to roll, when you're supposed to jump, and getting off of those rhythms can be pretty catastrophic.
And now here we have the first developer-intended warp barrel in the game.
Yep, this is something you'll be seeing in all 3 games. Donkey Kong Country 1 is unique in that the warps are scattered throughout the game. Much like in Mario 1 or Lost Levels or any other platforming games, there's warps to just help you get through the game quickly. This game just has them scattered throughout.
Now we're going into Bouncy Bonanza, probably the first real hard level of the run. The movement here is pretty tricky, and they're going to be going through some crawl spaces later on, trying to skip some Bs, which is not easy.
This is also our first introduction of tire rolls, which is basically when you just roll on a tire.
Shouts to Kipples for that commentary.
Thank you, Kipples.
Yeah, so the way the crawl spaces work is they're going to be holding down and right while jumping, and that will prevent them from crawling through the spaces, and saves a little bit of time.
Excellent, okay.
So there you see those tire rolls. Basically what they're doing is trying to roll off the tire before they bounce. It can be a little tricky. I wouldn't expect these guys to have too much trouble with it, but it will definitely come into play in later stages.
Stop and go station, another level with a developer-intended warp. Just go to the left, and that's it. That's the entire warp.
Right. The next stage that we're going to be seeing after Stop and Go, Millstone Mayhem, introduces the super jump glitch.
Super jump's something that is a little more impressive in World 3, but it makes a little easier to get to the warp in this stage. So some of this damage they're going to be taking early is intentional.
Because we have a warp barrel in this stage, and the intended way to get to this warp barrel is to unlock a tire and then bring it all the way back over here. But the super jump we're going to be doing is about 40 frames faster and so much easier. There we go. Team Kitty just done it. Team Dixie gets it. Excellent. And Team Diddy, wonderful.
Very nice.
Yeah. So here we have...
you have to do tire over gap. It's called by some one of the hardest tricks in DKC1.
Right. So here we have the World 2 boss. This is one of the very, very few sources of RNG in this game, and it's not really that time deterring.
Yeah, basically he can spawn in any of 4 places around, but they're ready for it.
Right. So good, that's World 2. So as we saw in the last stage, Millstone Mayhem had a donkey-only warp barrel, and we're going to be seeing it again in 3-1, Vulture Culture.
Yep. So again, Donkey is used very little throughout the run, and this is one of the times where he's needed. Not only is this warp barrel donkey-only, but it's on a timer, so if they take too long getting there, it won't be around, and dying is the fastest way at that point.
It's very strange how that works, actually.
It
It's
is.
like the only warp in the game that works like that.
I think it is,
Or in
yeah.
the entire series, for that fact.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Looks like Fathlo having some issues.
Some Diddy juggling, no problem.
All right. So another developer-intended warp barrel, a kind of tricky tire roll right here. Okay, good. It doesn't even save that much time.
It looks awesome, though.
True. All right, and awesome, okay.
All right, very nice.
So guys, you remember the super jump glitch that we did in Millstone? Well, we're gonna be seeing it again here, but to a more significant use.
Yeah, this is a pretty impressive glitch. We're just gonna kind of pause for a moment and let you enjoy this. And he's off.
Up they go.
All right, that's one of them. Good. Awesome, all right.
All 3 super jumps.
Excellent.
So what are we seeing here, guys? What causes that?
All right, so they took damage with one Kong in such a way so that the Kong that took damage would fly off the screen and literally keep on going up and up. And what we were doing is we were going to store that somehow. We're going to take damage with another Kong and then basically revive that super jump that they did.
Right, the game saves the flag that they're flying. And then what they do is let go of B at a certain time during that jump, and the vast majority of the time the screen is scrolling, they're actually falling. So it's a pretty big drop for Diddy.
There's an alternative strat for that that's a little bit faster, but it's much riskier, and all the runners agreed not to go for it.
We'll explain that a little bit later. So this stage is probably one of the most noteworthy stages for extended rolls. You're going to see them cross gaps with Diddy, like that one, that the game does not want you to cross. Right there.
Excellent. All right, that extendo looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right, good. Team Dixie gets it. Team
All
Diddy
3
gets it.
get the
Excellent.
extendo.
We got another really big extendo coming up. Right here on Team Kitty screen, another really big extendo right here. Okay, taking it safe, that's good.
Yeah, I think Silent Wolf prefers to play that a little bit safer rather than taking the full distance from the roll.
Yo, okay, Team Dixie gets it and Team Diddy gets it. Not bad.
Very nice, guys.
There's an alternative strat in the stage where you get espresso, and it's only like, what, 2 seconds slower?
Yeah, it's not a lot slower at all. That's definitely what I do when I do this stage.
All right, so coming up, we're going to be seeing a USA 1.0, 1.1, and PAL 1.0 exclusive trick called the map warp.
Oh, the map warp.
Yeah. If you're familiar with the category Claude introduced earlier, it's the category that beats the game in less than 10 minutes, and it uses this to get to World 3 very quickly. Basically, whenever you're on the corner, all right, Silent Wolf gets it. Whenever you're on a corner, the game, and you press one of the face buttons, the game thinks you're trying to enter a level, and it doesn't know where to send you, so it sends you to a bonus. That particular corner, Eason gets it.
All right.
Very nice, guys. That particular corner sends you to the end of 3-5, so we don't do much of the stage, but we did technically beat it.
Yeah, it is a one-frame trick, but you can mash with any of the 4 face buttons. It's kind of interesting to see like what the runners use to mash the face buttons.
Yeah, earlier I saw
Fathful uses his lighter, Eason uses a Wiimote, and Silent Wolf just uses his hands. Not tool assisted.
Not tool assisted. Some people use spoons, is it?
Oh yeah, shouts to Closty, of course.
So yeah, another fish level. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, look at him go.
Maybe get a donation or two in here.
All right, well, Alexandria donates $15, says, feels great to be able to donate now that I have my own money to spend. AGDQ has been my favorite stream event since I started catching it live, and it has introduced me to so many fun people on Twitch. Can't wait to see the DKC relay. We also have the Master DS195 donating $20. Woo, it's DKC Trilogy time. I'm excited. It's the best trilogy in all of gaming, full stop. Honestly, I can't think of any other trilogies that come near. As far as I'm concerned, Donkey Kong Country is the gaming trilogy.
So what they're doing with this boss is trying to time the cycles so that they can hit him, or is it him? Queen Bee?
Yeah, Queen Bee.
Hit her with the barrel as soon as possible.
Right. One thing you may have noticed, they weren't picking up the barrel on the left side at all because that lags the game for 1 frame.
Yep. That was for you, Tampa. So here we are, Snow Barrel Blast, probably the most infamous blast stage in this game. Some impressive extended rolls in this stage, but there also are some built-in skips that let them get past some of the harder sections.
Right, and we're going to be coming up to a trick called Barrel Boost. Okay. Nice, all right.
Very nice.
Very nice. So by jumping while holding a barrel on a ledge, he's able to get that super jump.
Awesome, okay.
Not sure if super jump is the right word, considering, that's actual
true.
super jumps.
Nice, all right.
There was an extendo under the barrels there. Silent Wolf in the one at the end. All right, all 3 with the extendo. Pretty smooth for these guys. These are the top 3 players in the world. There's nobody else in the world with better times than these 3 guys.
And Silent Wolf, I believe, improved his PB very recently, so I believe his words were he wanted to, feel qualified for this race.
And qualified he is.
So this is another warp barrel that the game wants you to use Donkey to get into.
But there's a little glitch where if you hold down and jump up a rope off the top of the screen, you can actually climb off the screen and go get it. You have to be a little bit careful with this glitch because you can roll off the left side and fall down and out of bounds, but it's a consistent setup.
Right, so that's good. This is Ice Age Alley, and we're going to be seeing our friend Espresso, and she's going to help us go fast.
Perhaps proof that birds are not jerks. Or not all birds, I should say. So yeah, the key here is to keep Espresso. A lot of these jumps are very tight, and if they take a bad jump, they could end up getting hit. Losing Espresso can lose either a ton of time or result in death if you take a hit at a bad spot.
You're also going to see them running down slopes with Espresso because that's a little bit faster than just flying.
So right there, getting over that claptrap is a good example of a pretty precise jump that if they had done that wrong, you could hit him on accident. Same with that Manky Kong. Lanky Kong's cousin. Angry cousin. How did Lanky get included in the Kong family anyway?
I have no idea.
What?
So here we are in a
Croctopus
chase, the longest level in this game, kind of an intermission, if you will. It's, as we said before, very easy to lose time, and this might be one of the most, if not the most difficult stage to optimize in this game. Basically, every corner that they go around, they're looking to take it as closely as possible without bonking on a wall.
Yeah, this is a stage that really represents the top runner player, as opposed to like very good runners as far as like how good their movement is.
But with that, there isn't much to do other than listen to the soundtrack here, so we'll throw it back to James for the some donations.
All right, we've got a $500 donation from Anonymous. Says, I've been watching for a long time, but finally have the money to donate. This community continues to impress me with the amount of support that they show for meaningful causes. Thank you to all the runners and the people behind the scenes that make GDQ happen. $100 from Red Nella says, good luck to the Donkey Kong runners, and thank you to everyone that makes this marathon possible. Paradox Wizard donates $75 and says, greetings. Just had to donate during the race I've been looking forward to all week. Good luck and have a great race, guys. Hopefully catch you on Discord. The MDGX donates $50. Says, so hyped for this race. Can't believe we are running all 3 DKC games in one event. I'll be rooting for Team Kitty and Void as he got me into DKC runs, but I'll wish you all luck. Also, remember to kill those animals. And another anonymous donation for $250. I missed everything up until now because I was visiting my parents, who have the world's slowest internet connection. No joke, around 5 kbps. But now, I'm back in the civilized world just in time for this awesome event, watching in full screen high quality.
Nice.
All right. No major changes through that stage as we expected, but Eason might have made up a little bit of time. This stage wants you to use Squawks, his only appearance in the game, as a bit of a flashlight, but he lags the game, so no thanks. Ooh,
that hit
That's
for
okay.
silent.
There's a DK barrel right
so
there.
he'll be switching right back to Diddy.
Ooh.
Oh, another donkey switch.
Everyone wants to be Donkey in this Torchlight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's like we said, that's very nerve-wracking. Anytime they end up as Donkey unintentionally is very risky.
Yeah, this is kind of the first like real-ish stage of the game. I know we said that about Bouncy, but this is really where it gets real.
Yeah, the next stage in particular is probably the stage that really starts. Ooh, more Donkey right
Donkey.
at the end. So Rope Bridge Rumble. This is Tire Roll City. This is just a hard stage. There's no way around it. These tire rolls, messing them up, almost all have the risk of death. And there are some pretty precise tricks and rolls that you have to do later in the level.
They're going to be doing a nice setup with some camera manipulation after this halfway barrel.
Yep, you're going to see the runners face left in order to set up that camera to get tires to spawn at the right place to roll off, just like that.
And
looks good.
Awesome. Team Kitty gets it.
Nice.
Excellent. Let's take a look at Team Diddy right now. Nice. All right.
Ooh.
And Team
Yes.
Dixie gets it too. Excellent.
Very, very nice. That is as hard as it looks. And we're on to the boss of World 4.
All right.
So World 5, I mean, we've been kind of hinting at it now, but this is where the game really starts to pick up difficulty. There hasn't been a lot of major risk of death or failure up until this point, but after this, most of the levels have pretty serious consequences.
By the way, right now you can see a Fathlo hanging out in the upper left. That's actually not for swag. I recently learned that. It actually saves time because there's like an invisible platform up there and allows you to hit the beaver like as soon as possible,
Anyway,
wasting no time.
We've got an interesting setup here with some intentional damage,
Right.
setting up a super jump like they did earlier, but we'll see.
Doesn't get it.
Okay.
Watch the other screens.
Let's take a look at Team Diddy right now on Eason's. Okay.
Does not get
Oh,
it.
early. Oh,
Nope,
no.
nope.
Okay.
So what they were trying to do there was set up something called a super jump roll, and I imagine we'll be seeing at least one jump roll throughout the course of this run, hopefully soon. But instead they're going to do Oil Drum Alley, which is arguably the hardest level in the game. Platforming through this is very difficult. The fire isn't actually real. It has a fairly tiny hitbox, so they can jump on the edges of these oil cans. So they're going to try to do that, get relatively precise rolls off of the edges, and we're going to even add some tire rolls just for fun.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were sad
Nice.
when the super jump roll got found,
Yeah, very nice.
All right.
because it is one of the coolest looking stages.
It definitely is.
Yo,
very,
sick.
very nice end
Not
from all
bad.
3 players.
Good job, y'all. So this is Trick Track Trek, the last warp barrel that we'll be seeing in the game.
Nice little break after what they just went through in Oil Drum. But Elevator Annex is no joke either. This stage is going to be another one that there's a lot of precise rolls. I feel like I say that every single stage, precise rolls.
Well, it's
but,
always true.
Yeah.
Again, you can see the jumping through the crawl spaces just go a little bit faster.
And this is our second time where they're going to actually take a bonus on purpose. So it is any percent. They're allowed to grab as many bonuses as they want, and there are 2 that make the game faster. Hopefully we don't see any bonuses in the other 2 games.
Hopefully not, although we might.
So basically what they're trying to do here is manipulate the camera a little bit to get the elevators positioned so they can roll very quickly across them. Another major one coming up here on Silent Wolf's screen.
Nice.
Well done.
All right, and these 2 are gonna go for it.
Frame for frame.
Yo.
Yo, look at this, guys. Synced up.
That's what's good.
Well done.
All right, and so here we have probably one of the hardest water levels in the entire trilogy. This is Poison Pond.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all said that we don't really like On Guard in DKC1, but he can prove his usefulness in this stage.
We don't like On Guard in any game.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's DKC3, just plows through everything.
Ooh, come on.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. He's got
Very
On Guard
important that
back.
you actually recover on guard. If you don't, it's a huge time loss.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really like On Guard, but I think he's pretty okay. He can clip through some enemies in this stage. We'll be seeing that.
Yep, big one coming up here. Right there.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's
No,
a big
oh,
loss.
He might
Oh,
come
no.
back though.
We'll see how Fatlo tries to recover from it.
Oh, we're not
He's not
gonna
going
be
to.
using-
He's
wow,
going to be
okay.
using Diddy through the end.
I'd see you on guard.
Yep, solo Diddy of all things. So we'll see how he handles it. This is not something he's going to be used to.
Definitely see him hesitating here.
Yeah,
Not sure
you
what to do.
Yeah, you can tell that he's not sure. But honestly, at this point, just getting through is probably the most important thing.
Right. So here we're going to be seeing the rolling through air glitch. We'll explain that a little bit later.
And hopefully something else.
Yeah, that too. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Well, this is he's still rolling through air. This is okay. Let's take a look at Team Diddy. All right.
Yo! Eason gets our first jump roll of the game.
Saving probably 4 seconds.
Correct.
4 seconds. So he may or may not catch up to Silent Wolf here. But what happens there is if you're able to, land on an enemy and roll at the same frame.
If you're able to kill an enemy and execute a roll on the same exact
Oh,
frame.
whoa. Fatlo doesn't get the roll through air glitch.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Oh no.
That's not good, but it's not a huge time loss, fortunately. But so that is indeed a 1-frame trick, and all you have to do to execute that is just press Y at the right frame.
That's it.
I don't know how clearly you can read our shirts, but they do say keep calm and press Y. Because we like to say in the Donkey Kong Country community, there's really, all you need to do to play is press Y. And that really is all you need. You only need 2 buttons to play this game, Y and reset.
Yep.
You think I'm joking?
It's not. So blackout basement, as you can see, someone turned the lights off. So it's pretty hard to see where you're going. Unfortunately, obviously, all runners had stage layout memorized. That being said, you have to do some pretty tricky extendos in the dark, and you don't really have any visual cues to go off of. So hopefully there'll be no mishaps.
The key with this level is to make sure that your movement is consistent. As long as you don't get off of your normal pace and normal movement, you're going to be fine because you have it memorized. But if that changes even a little bit or you have a tiny mistake, the light cycles and the positions of platforms is going to be completely off. And that's something we're going to see a lot of in this game. And I do want to take a moment here. So that jump roll that we saw, something I like to always do with DKC runs is I give $10 for every jump roll that we hit. Eason's hit one, so I'm on the hook right now for $10. I do hope that I owe more by the end of this, and I would like to challenge everybody watching, make the same bet with me. If you can't do $10, do $1 per jump roll, $5, whatever it can be, but $10 per jump roll over the course of this run. And I'm hoping to be a little lighter in the pocketbook by the end of it.
So this is where we're going to see DK being used. This is his little time to shine, to help out. Not really too important, but we're also going to want to be finishing this boss with DK because DK's victory fanfare at the end of a boss fight is 21 frames faster than Diddy's, and he helps out with killing the bigger enemies that boss Dum shoots out.
Very nice. Silent Wolf having a very clean run, as is Eason.
All right, cool.
So now Fathlo was behind in our practice run as well, and he came back to make it very, very close at the end. So by no means is he out of this.
And the way he did it was he hit this trick. There's two tricks you can do here. They're both jump rolls. One's called Creme Tut, the other's called Bird Tut. First one saves like about a minute, the other one saves like 45 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, it's significant too.
They're one-frame tricks, and if you press the button, you'll save a lot of time.
Just press
I've
Y.
been told that the runners won't be going for the one that saves the most time because of it's just too difficult.
Yeah, you can see Eason's AGDQ run from last year. He does manage to hit Creme Tut, the more difficult run, but he does end up dying because of it, because the setup after the pressing Y is actually quite tricky.
Yeah, Creme Tut might be the hardest trick in the entire trilogy, to be honest.
So yeah, bye-bye
Wolf
Creme.
doesn't even bother going for it.
Just kills the guy.
Same
As
with
does
Eason.
But Bird Tut is right here. Let's see what happens. Nope.
Oh, okay, a little bit too late on the Y press. Let's take a look at Team Diddy.
Yo!
There you go.
Eason.
Excellent. 43 seconds saved, yo.
All right. Little dodge there, and this actually is important because you do drop sub-pixels as you're falling. So he is very slowly falling, so he does a little bit of movement there to make sure that he doesn't hit some Bs later. When you're in the jump roll state, the only thing that can hurt you is a B. See what happens over on Fathlo's screen. Now he did try for Creme Tut earlier, but
Oh, it looks like he's going for it.
Oh,
no,
okay,
no.
okay. All right.
Made an attempt.
would have helped him make up a little bit of time. Let's see what he does here.
Nice.
Gets it.
Yes, excellent. Good job,
Very
my man.
He's 2 for 2 on those today.
Just like that, he pretty much catches up to Silent Wolf.
Yep, and so you can see up from Silent Wolf's screen how significant it is to actually hit that, because this is a very long auto-scroller.
Now here we're over on Team Diddy. We're in the stage Manic Mincers. This is Ramby's time to shine for what little time it is, because we're going to be giving him the Yoshi treatment.
Thank goodness, too, because
Bye-bye.
Ramby controls terribly in this game. Like, he actually controls like a rhinoceros.
All right, excellent.
Very nice by Eason.
So guys, the super jump glitch we saw, that was pretty neat.
It was pretty neat.
The jump roll glitch we saw, that was also pretty
I really
neat.
liked that one.
Only
So-
we could somehow combine the two.
Yeah, you know how cool that'd be?
It would be really cool.
Maybe we will.
Will?
And we will.
Oh!
We will. This is the super jump roll, yo.
Super jump roll. Again, a one-frame trick, combining something.
Okay, he must have let go of B or something.
Yes.
Again, it happened in the practice race as well.
Yeah, that's a little surprise. I guess I still owe $10 though. He hit it.
Yeah, he did. Either way, that's still really cool that he got it though. We must
Absolutely.
give big thanks to our friend Rainbow Sprinkles for finding that
Yeah.
discovery.
It's basically the two coolest glitches in the game put together, and you can see right there how much faster that moves than a normal jump roll. So they come up. Oh, very close.
That's an odd way to miss it. Yeah, just getting a jump instead.
That's all right.
So Silent Wolf is going to do this stage normally. This is actually a pretty difficult platforming stage.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
wow. We
Fat
get
blow.
another super jump roll.
He pulls ahead.
Hopefully
I mean,
he doesn't let go.
Yeah, I mean, right here, that's Donkey Kong Country speedrunning in a nutshell. Silent Wolf has been having a very, very clean run, but he missed the frames.
Gotta hit the frames, man.
That's what you were looking forward to, Claude.
Exactly.
Well, we did get the Rollin' Monkeys part right.
Absolutely, we did.
And just like that, Misty Mind's done.
Yeah.
Record timing, yo.
What deaths?
So Loopy Lights, another stage where they turn the lights off. The runner's not going to be grabbing any unnecessary switches.
If they hit a switch, it's on their path anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
Very fun stage. I actually really enjoy this one.
Interesting thing, you can roll through the first claptrap there, but only that one. It's kind of a little bit glitched. They
Another-
fixed that in later versions.
Right.
It's
Can't
in-
do that on VC.
It's in J1.0 too.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are, the final step, platform perils.
So this stage does indeed have a jump roll. If you don't hit that jump roll, it's probably one of the most difficult platforming stages in the whole series.
Yeah, it doesn't actually lose a lot of time, but it's just
No.
so difficult that the chance of death is pretty high.
Even if they don't get it, there's a backup, but here it is. Okay,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
excellent. You did it, man.
No
Yo,
problem.
that's what's good.
Very nice. Don't jump out of it, Eason.
Eason has all the frames on lock.
So, I mean, one frame trick sounds really impressive, and don't get me wrong, it is, but there are very consistent setups for every single jump roll in the game, so you still have to get a little bit lucky, but you can set it up to get it more often than not.
I don't think we'll be seeing Golden Barrel at all.
No.
That's all right, though.
See what Fathlow does coming up on the jump roll.
Let's take a look at Team Dixie.
Gets
Excellent.
it.
Good job. That's awesome.
And Silent Wolf right behind.
Oh, okay. Let's see if he goes for the backup jump. Okay, I guess he's not going for the backup.
There is a backup you can do there, but you have to switch to Donkey to set it up, so.
Yeah, we might be seeing the Golden Barrel glitch.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh! That's a costly death for Team Kitty.
He can't even go back and do the jump roll because he hit the halfway
he
barrel.
did hit the halfway
And
barrel.
now he's Donkey, unfortunately.
And now he's Donkey, so not good. But we've got K. Rool going here for Eason. K. Rool is unfortunately not a very exciting final boss. Twig put it best in the SGDQ 2014 DKC2 race. He's basically a glorified cutscene. There's nothing random about him. These players, the only thing they can do to save time is try to jump as soon as they possibly can on the crown.
Yeah, it's called crownless.
Let's take a look.
Saves frames.
Okay, no Golden Barrel. That's all right.
It's good. It wastes time. I don't know why you should go for that.
Because it's awesome.
No.
All the swag, baby. Okay, Silent Wolf through the stage.
Very nice. You got through, yo.
It is a tough stage, so I mean, as bittersweet as it is that he didn't hit the jump roll, I am glad you guys got to see how that would look normally.
Yeah, I'm glad that the super jump roll was shown.
Yep, definitely. So I think I'm on the hook for $70 right now, so anybody joining me on the dollars per jump roll glitch, there were 7 hits so far, but there is more. There's a trick called Bleak Skip later in the game that is a 1-frame trick that I'm gonna include in my pool, but we'll talk about that later on.
Let us not forget the 2-1 jump, but again, that's later on.
Yeah. And really, Silent Wolf didn't even have a bad run. I believe it was deathless, right?
He had the one death there right after the mid barrel.
Yeah, but that's only because he didn't get the jump roll. Like, all of his failings are because he couldn't press Y.
So usually when us and the Dank crew race the Trilogy, we usually like to pause our timers when DKC1 would be finished up, and then we like to resume our timers when DKC2 time starts.
Yeah, so what they're going to do is, for the game transition, we're going to wait until after Cranky is off the screen. So we're going to give a little bit of time for the second runner to get set up and start their game as soon as they can.
Is the timer going to keep going?
Yeah, the timer on here will keep going. We'll keep track of the individual times.
Oh yeah, I'm getting Team Diddy, you're getting... Okay, excellent. Shout outs to Garrison. All right, and wonderful. All right, we have Eason with a 33:37.
Very impressive.
That is a very good time.
Very good time. It's hard to overstate how good that is. Meanwhile, Waffle taking the helm for DKC2 as we move on. And all right, so let's see how these guys finish.
It's like Fafalo is fighting K-Rool with Donkey, just giving him a little bit of time to shine.
All right, so as we move on to DKC2, Claude, what are we looking for in the beginning of DKC2?
All right, so there's going to be, all the warps are going to be concentrated in the first two worlds, unlike in DKC1, but also we're going to be seeing a few rock.
34-13.
Really?
Yeah, there was a 34-13.
There was a 34-13. Unbelievable.
Oh,
34-13 for Team Dixie.
incredible. All right, we're going to be seeing some wrong warps in DKC2. So here's how it works. I'll give you a quick rundown. They're going to be grabbing an invisible barrel. There's a few ways to get it. You can get it off a beetle. You can get it off of clashing with a clobber. And they're going to try and match that invisible ID, or invisible barrel, with the ID of a warp or bonus barrel. And if they match it correctly and do the setup properly, they'll be able to instantly beat the stage. It's a 1.1 exclusive trick, and it saves a lot of time throughout the course of the run.
And 34-57 for Team Kitty.
Still a very good run.
So here we're going to be seeing the first wrong warp over here on Team Diddy.
This is what Claude was just describing.
Excellent. We have
No problem.
Invis, and we take the IDs of the warp barrel. So the wrong warps that you'll be seeing save not too much time over the developer intended warps in Worlds 1 and 2, but there will be more wrong warps later on in DKC2.
Yeah.
And Worlds 1 and 2 in DKC2 are the only worlds that have the developer intended warp barrels. Here we have on Team Diddy a trick we like to call Luckjaw.
Because it's pure luck.
Excellent.
Yep.
Got
Not
lucky.
for Waffle. He knows what he's doing.
All right, excellent. Candace gets the wrong warp. About 2 seconds over natural route.
Waffle's going to
Awesome.
be going for one of the most difficult wrong warps in the game. Easy beetle clash.
little bit
Oh,
high, buddy.
Yo, the
That's
backup.
the backup.
The backup, excellent, okay.
Second loss for the backup, but still good. And now we're on to Crow.
This
The-
game's biggest RNG factor.
We have a thing in this game called the World 1 Infinite, which Crow is mostly responsible for. After these first two eggs, he can give any number of random fake eggs. You need real eggs in order to hit him. Yo,
Okay, there's one real egg.
gotta get one more.
One more real egg, please. Okay, there's one fake. That's one fake.
Not bad.
One fake is really, really good.
All right, Candace
Candace
gets the
nails
top
the
sail
wrong
warp.
one.
Excellent.
No backup needed.
See how many fakes he gets. Another wrong warp on Waffle's side.
Actually, a newer way of doing this setup that saves about like 0.7 seconds. I believe Waffle got it. Yep.
All right, so let's take a look on Candace's screen. All right, there's
All right.
one real egg.
That's a pretty good start.
Okay,
One
one
fake.
fake. One fake.
Wow.
All right. Pretty good so far. Crow being nice. Void gets top sail.
Nice.
Well, you'll be see- oh, I guess I'll talk to big boys in a sec.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, there's one real.
one
Oh.
fake.
Fake.
Oh,
Crow's
one
Two-
fake,
being
right?
nice
Wow.
today.
Same fakes for all three teams.
Everybody gets to play.
All
My
right.
boy Crow.
Even high-level players will usually accept one fake from Crow, so that's pretty darn good marathon luck. So you might have seen them doing something interesting in the second stage, where not sure what's going on with Team Kitty. Lost the signal there, but there's a trick called a team throw double jump that these guys did, but.
We'll be
Okay, we got
seeing-
it back. Okay, Void's about to do it. So watch what he does on his screen. This is a trick we call a big boy or a team throw double jump. There we go.
All right,
so
good.
basically what that is when you throw, you team up, throw your partner at an enemy and press B while they're coming back towards you, you get a bit of a super jump, not a super jump,
Double
but
jump.
a double jump, yeah. And by doing it in the right spot there, you're able to get to the developer warp easily. But now Waffle's over onto Cleaver, another minor source of RNG, but more noteworthy for a trick called Lava Fly coming up.
Yeah, Lava Fly saves, I believe, 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the first tricks you end up learning if you run this game. And it's a little bit hard. The inputs are a little bit awkward. Looks like Waffle gets it no problem.
All right, excellent. So yeah, like we said, this is one of those tricks in the game where it saves 4 seconds if you get it, but if you lose it, if you don't get it, you lose about a minute.
Yeah, it does result in death if you don't get it. So nice Cleaver fight from Waffle.
We have Flying Diddy,
Flying
too.
Diddy.
Much appreciated, Waffle.
Thank you, sir. For the fans. He did that because he loves you, chat. He loves you.
All right, so over here on Team Dixie's, we're going to be seeing a Lava Fly attempt. Not bad.
No problem. So meanwhile, over in World 3, Team Diddy's moved on to the actual game. We're done with those developer-intended warps. This is where we get back to rolling and platforming and riding on Rambi, who no longer controls like a rhinoceros. He actually gets this really nice charge. These jumps look impressive. They're actually not that difficult. Just charging and jumping. So I do believe that Team Kitty is still playing. It's just a little bit of technical difficulty.
Unable to see right now if Twig has possessed Void's controller, causing him to fail Lava Fly. But
based on his reaction, I don't believe he has.
yeah, I think we'd know if he missed it.
But the team throw into the barrel there might look a little bit slower, but Waffle is using it to set up an actual super jump in this game. While not quite as impressive as DKC1's, it does indeed lead to skipping this barrel.
Ooh, got the G.
You got the G.
Got the G, all the swag.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to pause to?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. So all the players moving along. We'll do whatever we can to get that video back for you guys. But he is indeed still playing. Meanwhile, the Waffle for Team Diddy has moved on to
Glimmer's
Galleon, which is kind of like Croctopus on steroids. This is likely the most difficult water stage in the game. Looks like Void had no trouble with Lava Fly, so good job, Void.
Yep.
Canis gets the super jump.
The cornering in Glimmers is very interesting. It's like whenever you hit a wall, like it feels like you lose a billion, even though it's probably like maybe like a half second per wall.
So every time one of these guys bonks on the walls in Glimmers, you might notice them shake their head a little bit, maybe throw the controller in rage, but it's definitely a time loss that these guys are going to try not to do. A lot of tight corners as well.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Yeah, you are right. The game does start basically in World 3 because we got a tough water stage, Glimmers, followed by a really tough platforming stage.
Yep. So Waffle for Team D is going to be moving on to Crockhead Clamber, which we affectionately call Crackhead. It's probably the first really difficult stage in the game. The platforming here and the rolling is very, well, not very tight, but tight enough to be problematic. They're going to be doing a lot of tight rolls over gaps, through enemies, off of crocodile heads, under vines, under the water, and all the while any mistake could lead to them falling into that swamp.
Yeah, I know Waffle was concerned about his gap rolls earlier. Might be seeing some safer strats out of him. I think in general Waffle wanted to play this race very safe.
Yeah, it's interesting the different strategies that some of the runners are choosing. We saw earlier Fathlo try for Creme Tut, which as you mentioned is one of the most difficult tricks in the entire series, but we know Waffle is more interested in just executing things that he knows he can do consistently.
Mm-hmm. He just wants a very clean run. And so far he's getting it.
Definitely. Good runs by all three players. We're not really seeing any major lead changes since DKC1 has ended yet. But don't worry, this game gives plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Very, very nice crackhead from Waffle.
So this is the stage in which we first transform into our animal friend.
Ratley the snake. So we saw Ratley earlier in Top Sail Trouble, but this is the stage where you get to really use him. The thing about Ratley is that when he's moving along the ground, he moves very slowly. So they're going to be trying to keep in the air as much as they possibly can. But the thing about Ratley is that his hitbox is very weird. A lot of times you can think you're about to land on an enemy, but you'll end up getting hit, or you'll think you're going to get hit, but you end up bouncing off the enemy. So the goal with this stage is just to move as consistently as possible. Since Ratley has that weird hitbox, even the tiniest changes in what they're used to could lead to him taking it, or lead to them taking a hit they're not expecting. Canis moving into Ratley, and Void finishing up, or through the midpoint of Crackhead.
Yeah, Void seems to be having a very nice crockhead so far.
Yep. RP jump, gap roll, no problem for him.
Not bad.
Void, of course, is the world record holder, so even though he is a bit behind right now, his time is almost 20 seconds better than the second place player. I believe that's DG's with a 40:36.
Very recently, in
Very
fact,
recently.
actually.
Took it from Claude here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that was a pretty good crackhead on Void's end.
Meanwhile, what are we seeing over here with Waffle? What is that?
Whoa, man, it looks like he just did another super jump glitch, and we're setting up for a pretty big wrong warp.
Yep, this is the first wrong warp that doesn't come in a stage with the developer intended warp. So here they're going to try to get the invisible object to take the ID of the bonus and exit the level. So the reason that particular glitch works is because by getting that super jump, by team switching under the water and then taking a hit, they're able to shoot really, really quickly into the sky, thus skipping the trigger that causes the water to follow you up the stage. And by doing that, they're able to fall down to the bonus with the invisible object. So all we're really looking for here in Bramble Blast is quick shots, trying to shoot out of barrels facing a direction. Looks like Waffle has no trouble. Pretty important trick coming up, though, later in this stage.
Love this song. Reminds me of my childhood.
The feels, yo.
All right, Canis with the invis.
Nice wrong. Got it.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Meanwhile,
Good.
watch Waffle.
Oh.
Ooh, misses vine clip. A precise big boy there can get you through that vine. I expect at least one player is going to get that. Void says it's the easiest trick in the game.
Oh, he never misses it, so.
I think I saw him miss it once this week.
I think it was a fluke.
Fluke. Didn't happen. Video or it didn't happen. Easy quick shots from Canis over there.
Oh. Void having some trouble setting up the IDs there. I believe they're still correct, though.
Oh,
they're not.
Void misses the wrong warp. So it's okay. This is fine. This is fine. Void knows how to do the second half of the stage. He also is a very accomplished 102 player. He did indeed play this level, that category at AGDQ last year. So he knows how to get through the second half of the level quickly.
Looks like Canis
Yep,
got
Canis
the vine clip.
gets the vine clip trick. Very nicely done. So Void is setting up another super jump here, switching under the water. Meanwhile, the other two players are in Cudgel, who's probably the most boring boss in the game. The only way to speed him up is to do these backwards throws with Dixie's hair. The way they do that is timing each throw is a little different. Some people, what did you call them last year, Claude? Hair oscillations?
Hair oscillations, yeah. I think people love that one.
Hair oscillations is great. So anyway, Void through the level, no problem. He will need to, he's going to go solo Diddy all the way through.
Yes, for Cudgel, you just have to count to a different number per cycle. It's 6-4-2, then 3-2-1. Pretty easy. The hardest part about Cudgel is just like paying attention, not like falling asleep during the boss
Definitely.
fight.
I didn't learn this boss for a very long time because I just didn't want to put in the practice to learn that. But waffled through World 3 with no problems other than that tiny vine clip mishap. No Maze of Shame this time so far. We can probably take a donation or two here.
All right, we have SSSK with $20. It says, this is a dream come true. The Donkey Kong Trilogy was the birth of my entire gaming life, and I still treasure the games to this day. Thank you for everything that you do. Good luck.
So Void may have missed that wrong warp and has a little bit of a deficit here, but we currently have going a Donkey Kong Country 2 tournament, and Void did miss that in one of his matches, but ended up coming back to win against another one of the best players in the world. So again, he plays very well, and isn't too worried.
Meanwhile, straight, and we're seeing the scrolly scroll glitch. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it's all right.
So the way it works is you just get on a hook, then dismount from the hook, get back on Squitter, and the screen scrolls uncontrollably. Then by taking damage, it stops the scroll, and you're able to proceed with the rest of the level.
Yep, pretty smooth. This level, Hornet Hole, is probably Dixie's best stage in the game. She really shows what she's able to do with her hair glide and just when given the chance to roll through stuff. Now, the thing that stage does introduce, though, is honey jumping. Honey jumping is probably one of the most difficult basic mechanics to master in this game. Getting off that sticky stuff is pretty difficult.
Almost like wall jumping in Super Metroid.
No problem for Canis on the scrolly scroll.
Good. All right.
So with that, we enter our first auto-scroller of this game, Target Terror. Only a couple tiny ways to save time in this stage, nothing too significant.
Basically, all you do is you jump off the carts as soon as possible, and you skip a few flitters. That's about it.
Yeah, so again, this is a great time for more donations.
All right, we have a donation from Matt Makes Games. He says the DKC games are a huge inspiration for me. Good luck, runners, and thanks everyone at AGDQ for all you do, with a donation of $1,000. Semi-Sponge donates $75. It says, my mom died of cancer 10 years ago, and I miss her every day. Thanks for everything that you do. The Legend 2786 donates $15 and says, greetings from Germany. Let's kick cancer's butt together. Also, I love you, Twitch chat. And don't forget to kill the animals. And given the game, I will reply with a hefty Dankeschön to our fellows in Germany. Geo Burrows. Oh, sorry.
Okay, no problem. But Waffle choosing not to get Swag Balloon. We'll see if the other guys do it. Maybe he doesn't love you guys as much as I thought he did with that Flying Diddy.
No, if there's any risk involved, Waffle's not going to do it in this run.
Yep. Speaking of risk, we come here on Bramble Scramble, the newest wrong warp in the game, discovered a few years ago, highlighted at the last time this game was in. Pretty precise setup here. Movement up that vine is critical. This beetle clash is critical, and then movement here is important as well. No problem.
Nice.
The two most difficult things about that trick are climbing up the vine at the beginning. If you climb too slowly or too quickly, the IDs won't be right for the wrong warp. And then the beetle clash itself involves a pretty precise jump and I believe a 4-frame window for the clash.
Anywhere from 1 to 5, depending on position.
You can see Waffle did a little bit of a setup there by walking into the bramble. I'm not sure if Canis is going to do it as well.
Yeah, I don't believe we'll see Canis or Void do that setup. Canis choosing to wait.
Nice.
Easy invis.
RID's correct.
They are.
Yes.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, a few years ago at the AGDQ, I believe 2015 4-way race of this game, we had people struggled a little bit more with that. The trick was much newer at the time.
I remember one person in particular who really struggled with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was though.
Yeah, we don't name names here.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they've all gotten much more consistent. Almost all the top runners are automatic with that trick. So we could have a few more donations here. Actually, I take that back. Waffle is about to enter Mudhole. I just saw carts on all 3 screens, but Mudhole is possibly the most difficult stage in the game. It's also probably the most complete stage in the game. This stage has rolling, this stage has jumping, this stage has pits that you can fall into everywhere, lots of enemies that can kill you at any turn, and one of the most difficult wrong warps in the game. This is another level where you can see just the skill of a player by what sorts of tricks they choose to go for.
And those rolls over the gaps are definitely not easy.
Yeah, this eagle pit here is very difficult.
there's a faster strat you can do there at midpoint, but obviously Waffle is going to take the safer strategy.
Easy wrong warp for Void.
Nice.
All right, coming up on the wrong warp for Waffle. Precise movement and precise throws here to get this set up. Got the clash. Looks good.
It's good to me.
Got
Very
it.
nice.
All right, we're gonna have another big boy coming up here. Another team throw double
Oh,
jump.
Canis takes a dip.
Ooh, that
Oh
death.
no.
Where was he? Was he past the mid barrel?
I'm not sure. He was
He
not.
was not. All right, that sets them back a little bit, adds to Team Diddy's lead.
Waffle's
Waffle with
B-skip,
the
very nice.
B-skip, absolutely. Not even Waffle B-skip from him.
Yeah, exactly, the real one.
So we're gonna have a little bit more use of Ramby here in a stage aptly titled Ramby Rumble. And we're gonna see more charges, more jumps. They look cool, they're not hard. We do get a little bit of cool music though for a bit.
Run, Randy, run.
Run, Ramby, run.
That's the song's name.
Canis coming up on the wrong warp. Should be okay. Got
Nice.
it.
There's a little bit faster way to do that wrong warp, but so far I haven't really seen anyone go for it. But that's pretty much Donkey in a nutshell. Is like there's always a little bit faster way to do something, but it probably kills you or kills your run if you try to go for it.
Yeah.
So it's always a risk reward.
Yeah, this series in general has some of the worst risk reward of any game. The cudgel fight back there is a good example of something where you can, each of those quick throws saved 0.2 seconds, but could potentially lose you 10. So it's as you start getting to the higher levels of play in this game, you really have to have a lot of patience, I guess. Meanwhile, don't sleep on the king. He can kill you.
Waffle was having some trouble destroying the B ring there. I think he's recovered. Yep.
And Void gets the wrong warp. Excellent.
So Void does go for a neat trick here called Via Boy. Let's see if he takes a little more swag approach to the big boy.
He loves this trick. It saves nothing. He gets it.
And he gets it.
Very nice.
Rolling deep, Void. Rolling deep.
Does not combo into B skip. A little bit unfortunate, but still pretty cool.
Meanwhile, Waffle moves on to World 5. World 5 is really where this game starts to get hard. It's also probably the best world in the game. It's got the most fun platforming, lots of rolling, lots of jumping, lots of really tricky stages without a lot of glitches or wrong warps or tight frame windows to get things done.
So a brand new task of this game was just released by a guy named Hidai Guy, and it introduces 2 wrong warps that are done in World 5, one in Ghostly Grove and one in Gusty Glade, but they are not by any means humanly possible.
No, and even then they don't even save that much time, so you'll probably almost certainly never see them in an RTA run.
All right. So Waffle has a pretty comfortable lead at this point, but again, there are so many places coming up shortly. Parachute Panic, Web Woods in particular, are stages that can end anybody's run, even at this level of play.
Yeah, so Haunted Hall is kind of an interesting auto-scroller. It's probably one of the hardest auto-scrollers in the trilogy. So in order to save time, you just jump up and down the slopes, but how you actually jump up and down the slopes influences your time a lot. Also, you're going to be seeing him jump at the top of the doors, which saves a few frames.
Yeah, maintains a little bit of speed.
But recently some work was done in optimizing this auto-scroller by DGs.
Yep.
And it's like between someone who doesn't even know what they're doing in the stage versus someone who's like trying to play it optimally, there's at least a 3-second difference.
Mm-hmm.
So we could fit in another donation or 2 here.
All right, we have a donation that was in support for Silent Wolf. It says, "Let's go Auto, Team Root Beer," with a $100 donation from Mango. We also have a donation from Armadillo64 for $35, and he says, Diddy's got style, Diddy's got grace, and Kitty Kong has a funny face. These runners beat levels with the greatest of ease, making frame-perfect trips seem like such a breeze. We have a donation for $40 from Amanda Conway, and she says, "Let's go Team Diddy. Looking forward to seeing Supreme Crush DKC3. Cole66 donates $30 and says, "Donating during DKC2, one of my favorite games of all time." And Samuel donates $25. First time donation. Donkey Kong Country 2 is surely my favorite game of all time. Let's beat cancer, and also good luck on the run.
Right, so Gusty Glade is a really fun level, but it's a pretty hard level to learn, especially this section Waffle is going across there. But it just feels really fast when you start to get good at it, because you know how to use the wind cycles for your advantage. The wind in this stage is not random, it's position based, so you know exactly where the wind is going to go when you get to a certain point. So a lot of these jumps and rolls look a lot riskier than they are, but they also feel really awesome to do.
Those jumps on the hooks are a little bit tougher than they look. It's actually timing based. It's very possible to jump too early and just like fall to your death.
Yeah. Waffle does a team throw into that barrel to set up a goal swap at the end, which puts Dixie in front instantly for Parachute Panic. Parachute Panic is, of course, a well-known stage for going down through a beehive using purple squawks to, Quawks is his name, isn't it?
Yes.
Purple Quawks to not die, but it's really, really slow. So what speedrunners do is just fall down through the stage and have it memorized.
Very impressive looking stage.
Yeah, this might be the most fun stage in the game. It's really hard to learn, not too hard to execute, but tiny mistakes can still lead to big consequences.
Okay, no midpoint parrot. Nice.
Well done by Waffle. One last bit. Headbutt.
Great, easy.
Waffle's through.
Very nice.
You can tell how skilled a player is at this game, or how confident a player is, based on how long they hold the hovers in Parachute Panic. You really don't need to hold them very long. Even a tiny tap of Y is enough to get you around some of those bees, but newer players tend to hold Y longer because they're just not comfortable with it yet. But all three of these guys are going to have very, very brief presses of Y as they fall through that hive. And now Webwoods.
This was the stage that always made me go ugh when I was a kid.
This is the stage that always makes me go ugh every day I play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I like to say. What I like to say is that this stage gets harder as you get better. It's hard when you're a casual player just going through the first time. It's hard when you're learning to speedrun. Ooh, unfortunate death there for Void. Hard when you're learning to speedrun, and it's even harder when you get really, really good. They're doing something here called instant platforms, where pressing L and R at the same time causes a platform to spawn directly under Squidder's feet. Very nice eagle pit there from Waffle.
One more damage boost coming up.
These damage boosts, you can actually jump out of a hit when you're transformed into an animal buddy.
That was a good PCP by Canis.
Very nice.
Great Webwoods by Waffle.
And Void's on to PCP.
Right, so on Waffle's screen we have Creepy Crow, another somewhat big source of RNG. Again, not too much, but it's pretty annoying.
Possibly the most frustrating boss in the game. He's got some tricky platforming and rope climb. Well, not platforming so much as just climbing and jumping, but it's enough to frustrate even experienced players. Not to mention the RNG.
It's like Waffle's having some trouble with the ropes, but makes it up eventually.
So this phase of Creepy Crow is the most important RNG-wise. We want a right spawn. Middle is okay, and we get left spawn.
Yeah, that's the slowest. Canis coming up on the hard part of Webwoods. Little bit of trouble over the eagle pit, but sets it up.
It takes its time.
Good choice. Why do we call that the eagle pit? Those are not eagles.
I don't know.
Guess as good as mine.
They're not crows either.
You're right, they're mini neckies.
To avoid going into Webwoods. Nice Webwoods from Canis.
Yeah, good job, Canis. That was good.
So again, a couple stages separate these guys, but some of the hardest tricks in the game are still coming up. The end of the game is something we affectionately refer to as the gauntlet, and you'll see why we call it that when we get there.
Yeah, Arctic Abyss is the first level where you really make use of On Guard in DKC2. He's a little bit tougher than DKC1, but he's still prone to the ow-ows, as we like to call them.
Yeah, his hitbox is just as bad, if not worse, than Ratley's. And this stage is probably the main reason for what I was saying earlier about not liking this guy. It's really easy to get hit when you're not expecting to, and really easy to die. I think we actually had that happen earlier in practice to one or two of these guys. Nice duck underwater
All right,
from Waffle.
yeah, looks like Arctic went by pretty well.
It's like Voids through Webwoods.
Well done, Void. Canis finishes World 5. And Waffle is on to Windy Well. So Windy Well is kind of a weird stage. It's a half auto-scroller, half platforming level, but also has some skips that you can do to save a little bit of time, one of which is coming up right now.
Good.
No problems for Waffle. That one's a little risky. If you're too far to the right, you can fall down and lose 6 seconds or so, or if you're too far to the left, you'll get hit and have to do this part with Diddy.
I wonder what RNG Void gets. Okay, he gets middle spawn.
Respectable.
Middle
Middle
spawn's
spawn.
good, yep. Not a major loss. I didn't see what Canis got.
Same.
Middle?
I don't know. All right, so here comes a damage boost on Team Diddy. Wonderful, okay.
Pretty straightforward damage boost. The hardest trick is still coming up called Ghetto Bees, where he's going to try and drift in between these sets of bees. And if he gets hit, it's going to be a huge time loss because he'll have to re-enter either Arctic or Windy and grab another Kong in order to complete the next stage quickly.
It's critical to complete this stage with 2 Kongs.
Yep.
No problem on Ghetto Bees.
Shoutouts to our friend Dragon Ball Joseph for a good tutorial on how to do Ghetto Bees.
Oh yeah, the MS Paint, I love it.
Best tutorial in speedrunning.
Don't open paint. But yeah, as we said, it's absolutely crucial to be leaving Windy Well with 2 Kongs because of a rather infamous glitch that we're going to be doing in Castle Crush.
Yeah. What you're going to see in Castle Crush is something that turns a 4.5-minute auto-scroller into a 1.5-minute auto-scroller, but we'll just let that play out on screen.
Yeah, all you need to know is that they need to protect the DK barrel for about a minute or so.
Yep. Basically, once Waffle grabs this DK barrel, it is his life. He holds the fate of Team Diddy in his hands right now.
We're not kidding.
In fact, messing up this trick for any of the runners could be catastrophic. I would not expect it from any of these players, but it could happen.
Pretty straightforward trick, but no.
Yeah, it actually is one of the easiest things to learn in speedrunning, and something I always recommend to new runners that they pick up very quickly. Our friend Twig made a very nice tutorial for that.
I love his tutorials.
They're so good.
As old as they may be.
They're still good.
Ghetto Bees from Canis, and no problem.
Excellent.
Again, trying not to get hit here with these crooks at the end. Nice.
Ooh.
Small mistake by Canis, but not a huge deal.
All right, so here we have.
Watch Team Diddy. Here's where the magic happens.
That's it. So.
Yeah, for the longest time we had no clue what was going on and what caused that trick to work.
The way that trick works is pretty interesting. DG's was explaining it to me a few days ago. Basically, the invisible ID that you're getting there is the ID that slows the platform down. So when you get hit, you lose that ID, and the game doesn't know what to do as far as the platform goes. So it loads the only part of the stage that's not moving, which is the end. And that's pretty much it, as far as I understand.
Yeah, I did not know how that worked until today. So many thanks to DG's, the Mad Donkey Scientist, and Claude, the Lore Master.
Yeah.
We've got an important trick coming up here.
I believe we call this throw your girlfriend.
No gentleman strats today.
Yeah, you want to throw Dixie there to grab the invincibility while as far left as possible.
Also,
And
her tears are deadly.
also maximizes the amount of time you get from the invincibility.
Very nice.
Yep. All right. Waffle coming up on the gauntlet. Our last wrong warp of the game right here. Chain link chamber, CLC. Pretty precise movement. It's not very forgiving, and if he makes a mistake, it's going to cost him 20 seconds. So let's watch. A little bit of hesitation around that B. Ooh.
Oh,
Void.
Oh, Void is
Void
lost
loses
the
the barrel.
And with that, Team Kitty is quite a bit behind now.
But it's all right. The Waffle gets the wrong warp.
So you see now why it's so catastrophic to lose that barrel. Not only does he lose it, lose the stage over, he has to go back and get Diddy again. So for that to happen to Team Kitty, there's no way around it. That's bad news. Toxic Tower now is probably, gosh, there's so many fun stages in this game, but this might be one of the best.
Yeah, so there's two types of double jumps you can do with Radley. There's a short hop and there's an actual double jump. The actual double jumps are 3 frames. Short hops are quite a bit more lenient, and you have to do quite a few short hops and double jumps in order to ascend the tower quickly. It's one of the hardest stages to do at a top level.
Yep. Doing this stage quickly is very, very difficult, but very, very rewarding. And now the Ratley section is hard. It's probably the most fun to do, the most fun to work on, but the Squawk section is a very easy place to lose time and a very easy place to die. Waffle choosing to not take the safe route, do the damage boost. No surprise there. Kane is coming up on the CLC wrong warp. Void guarding that DKC barrel like the run depends on it.
Yeah, the mashing you have to do with Squawks is pretty non-trivial. It really separates the try-hard mashers from the more casual mashers.
How can I be a try-hard masher, Claude? What do I have to do?
Well, do you have a spoon?
Not bad, Kenneth. Not bad.
Yep. Up in 3. All right, Donkey Kong is saved. Game over. We're good, right?
Not quite.
Not quite. Another Rare fake out. Thanks, Rare. Void does get CC skip.
Nice. Now, will we see the jump?
Definitely not.
Not from Waffle.
Not from Waffle.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect the jump from any of these guys.
Yeah, the jump is when you jump over the cloak here. It saves like 0.7 seconds, and if you miss it, it pretty much kills your own, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waffle is going to guard this lead. Waffle has had a very, very good run. I'm not sure what his time is going to be in the end of this, but something good is all I can say. So, I mean, a little bit of risk here in Screeches. That hit could, we'll see what he does. There is a DK barrel that he could take for safety towards the top of the level, but with the lead he has, I might consider going for it.
I expect Waffle to grab it. Yeah, he's come so far and had a very clean run so far.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to.
he does. He does indeed take the DK barrel. I agree with that choice. He knows the lead he has. He doesn't need to risk dying and losing 30 seconds to a minute on this stage. Canis, meanwhile, finishing Toxic Tower.
Okay, good.
And Void going for CLC.
I think Waffle's on high 40 pace.
You might be right.
Good job. Good job.
Void gets CLC, no problem.
Wow, that was good. Don't beat up Donkey Kong, man. That hurts.
No, please do.
Oh yeah.
So K-Roll 2, much like K-Roll 1, really not a lot going on. Instead of crownless, you're going to be going for something called dustless, where you just try and throw the cannonballs as fast as possible into K-Roll's blunderbuss.
If you see any of the dust frames, the slow was a little slower than it could have been, but honestly, it's not really a major deal. Void, however, going through Toxic. Void has one of the best Toxic Towers I've ever seen. He's very, very good at this stage. That jump there is a good example of Ratley's weird hitbox, because it always looks like you're going to get hit, but you never do.
You're seeing an alternate strategy on Canis' screen. He's not going to be taking the leftmost barrel. Instead, he's going to try and keep his maximum height a certain value, and that'll allow him to do a fast goal at the end of the stage where he just like lands on the goal rather than landing next to it and then jumping on it. Doesn't save too much time, but small optimization.
Void through the most dangerous parts of Toxic Tower. And he's through. Yep, Canis does indeed get the fast goal onto K-Roll 2. All right, and with that we can take some time for some donations as we finish up Donkey Kong Country 2 and move on to 3.
All right, we've got a donation here from J.A. Whitkin. First time watcher and had to donate. This is for my mom and her brother who passed from cancer recently, and to my friend's wife Carmen who was fighting a long uphill battle. Keep up the strats and the donations. Every cent and frame matter. We've also got a donation from Art House Mafia, $50 for a great series of games and an awesome relay.
Nice effort from Void.
He's really going for it again.
He went, wow. He gets the jump again.
Nice.
Wow. That is very, very difficult.
I know at home, Dragon Ball Joseph and the Juice are smiling right now.
For him to go for that behind like this is very gutsy, but shows just the caliber of player Void is. No one else in probably the world would consider doing that in that situation.
Well, except for Dragon Ball Joseph.
Well,
who did
of
it
course.
in 2015.
He was holding on to a lead, though. He didn't have teammates that he needed to help carry.
That's true.
We're going to need Suzuri to have a pretty good run to bring Kitty back into it. But it's not over. There is some pretty significant stuff that can happen in DKC 3. Waffle finishes with a 41.08.
Incredible run.
Very nice.
Absolutely insane.
That might be a marathon PB.
That is absolutely a marathon record. I think a 42.02 might be the best we've seen yet.
Yeah, he just crushed it by like about a minute.
I mean, that's absolutely insane. All right, so I guess while these guys finish up K-Rool and Supreme gets ready to take over DKC 3, we'll throw it back for some donations.
All right, Empty Walrus donates $50. My mom's been dealing with cancer the last 2 years, donating for her and everyone else who has and had to go through this. Nothing better than watching people play video games fast for a good cause. We have Fire Girl with $15. Greetings from Japan. Spending my Saturday afternoon learning so much about my favorite SNES games. Been tuning in as often as I can. Thanks everyone for everything you do. Never give up the fight and save the animals. Eggs and Gaming donates $100. This DKC relay race is incredible and definitely my favorite part of GDQ 2017. I spent countless hours on DKC 2 and 3 growing up, and these runners make it look so easy. Thanks to everyone at GDQ for organizing the event each year.
You'll do Supreme.
Good.
OMG What donates $14. I promised the chat $2 for every jump roll in DKC. And as we all know, everything Twitch chat says goes, right? And Vexed Virus donates $50. Another awesome AGDQ. Thank you for all that you guys have done for this great cause.
Void throwing away 6 seconds for Blue Diddy.
For the fans.
Worth it every time.
Worth it.
Meanwhile, Supreme and Nocturne setting up to start DKC 3. You've noticed Supreme's file name there was Manda. That's a shout out to his wife, Amanda. I know he misses you.
First trick coming up very fast is Wrinkly Skip. You just hold left and you exit Wrinkly immediately. Very difficult.
And Void going for red Diddy as well.
Oh.
Will he go for the trifecta and get purple Diddy?
All the Diddies of the rainbow.
Nope, no purple Diddy. He knows how to handle that. I'm kind of surprised he didn't know a little bit. But anyways, we're on to DKC3. DKC3 is very much the same as DKC2 as far as the first two worlds have entirely developer-intended warps.
Yeah, we will not be seeing any wrong warps at all.
No wrong warps. DKC3 is probably the most pure of the games, well, with a couple minor exceptions. It's lots of execution based in this game. This game in particular is the one that's gotten the most work in the last year. Claude, would you give us a little bit of a rundown as to how DKC3 got some of its work done?
Yeah, for the longest time, DKC3 was kind of the red-headed stepchild of the donkeys, and it was actually me and DGs that really put a lot of work into just optimizing the movement and trying to get people to take it a little bit more seriously. Other people have been taking it seriously. I believe Nocturne, who's in this race, was one of the first persons to actually invest a lot of time, but it's come a long way since 2014.
Yeah, Supreme and Nocturne, two of like some of the oldest runners of this game, and definitely excited to have them here at GDQ. I know Nocturne was going to be included in the three-way race at the most recent SGDQ, but wasn't able to make it, so definitely thanks to GDQ staff for giving us another chance and giving him an opportunity to do this. Little bit of technical difficulty there for Nocturne as well at the start. Unfortunate that had to happen. So yeah, not a lot going on in Worlds 1 and 2 of DKC3, really not until the boss of DKC2, so I guess we'll take some donations now as well. Getting close to 900K there.
Yeah, we're almost at 900K. Let's try to hit 1 million before the end of today. We have a donation here from the Ladybug for $75. Wanted to donate during the DK Trilogy. DK2 is the game that really made gaming accessible to me, and I love seeing it speedrun. You guys rock. Professor Farnsworth donates $50 and says, "It is the 10th anniversary of my mother's passing to cancer. Seeing such amazing runs throughout this AGDQ, and so many people give so generously to prevent others from getting this is amazing. Keep up the great work, and thank you." King Blunkers says, "Hey GDQ, thank you for making video games more than just a hobby. Great cause. Much love to all the dedication and effort. DKC is a favorite. Keep on hair twirling your way to speed running greatness," and donates $75. Oreo Ninja 245 donates $25 and says, "DKC2 is one of my favorite games ever. Shout out to the runners and to David Wise on the phenomenal soundtrack. Don't beat the Bramble stages too quickly so I can jam out to Sticker Brush Symphony." Anonymous donates $70. "Here is my $10 per jump roll landed donation. Easen's consistency at performing that trick at these events is incredible. A game well played to all the runners." Anonymous donates $100 and says, "Save the animals, you monsters!" MM donates $50 and says, "This is my early anniversary gift to my husband Tyler, who loves Twitch and AGDQ. With all my love, MM."
All All right, we're coming up here at the end of World 2. Supreme's got one more level to take a warp, and then he's going to be going to Arik, the first boss of, or second boss of this game, but the first boss that really has some major tech. We're going to see a big change in DKC3 from the first two games, where the bosses were kind of donation time, quiet time in the first two games. Here they get really interesting, and there are ways to significantly speed up basically every boss in the game.
Yeah, the quick kill on Arik here is non-trivial, and just making a slight mistake can pretty much ruin your chances just getting even like a somewhat fast fight.
Yeah, if they lose Kitty here, they're in big trouble.
And just like that, yeah.
Yep.
Well, if you throw in the barrel upwards, not directly straight.
He still does have Kitty, so it's not over, but a hit here, which does happen. It's all right, he's got to shake that off, not let it get to him too much. He's not in too much trouble, one more hit to go. But that does narrow the gap a little bit for Nocturne.
Okay, he didn't lose Kitty.
Didn't lose Kitty.
That's pretty important.
It's very good recovery.
Yep. Sometimes the hardest thing about that fight can be just shaking off the misses, because it's very easy to keep missing when you miss the first time. So for Supreme, he missed a couple different ways, but he didn't let it get to him and still got that final throw in. Another thing you're going to see in this game is movement on the overworld map is not just line to line. You actually get a little more freedom with some of these vehicles. They're awful. There's no way around it. These guys are pretty good at moving though, so I wouldn't expect anything major on the map.
The controls are a little bit easier on the Japanese version, which all three runners are playing on.
Yeah, we'll address why Japanese a little bit later, but Supreme, tiny bit of trouble, but still relatively smooth travels to World 3, Mechanos, which as with DKC2, this is when the game really starts. Nocturne coming up on Arik, see how his fight goes.
Interesting thing to note is that Nocturne's Kongs are different colors than Supreme's and Suzuri's. You can just input an alternate color code. It doesn't change anything except the colors, so that's...
Oh, missed throw, okay. Trying to stay safe.
All right, yeah.
Oh, another miss. See, this is why it's dangerous. You have to be careful and not let it get to you.
Very easy to fall into the infinite.
Yeah, but he gets the second hit. Meanwhile, mad respect for Suzuri, who just competed in this Kirby Superstar race only 2 runs ago, and now is back for this one. Played in Kirby's Dream Land 3 yesterday as well. All the way from Japan to give us quite the show here, so we're definitely grateful to Suzuri. Meanwhile, Supreme's got Kitty in front here. He's going to be trying to set up a damage boost to save a little bit of time in this level and get solo Dixie for later.
Yeah, that's going to be one thing you're seeing a lot in DKC3 is solo Dixie throughout levels. Not only for leg reduction, but for barrel shenanigans too.
Yeah, whenever you enter an auto fire barrel in DKC3, you have to wait for both Kongs to enter it, which wastes time. So whenever possible, you only want to have one Kong. So he's going to be maintaining solo Dixie throughout pretty much all of World 3, I guess technically World 4.
Yep. So, I mean, that really kind of shows that they're planning ahead for a level that's coming 3 stages later at the end of that stage with that damage boost. They're not going to pick up any DK barrels for the next couple levels, and it just speaks to how important Kong order is in this game. Knowing which Kong you have in front, being able to use their specific abilities, or in the case of the earlier 2 games, their specific speed, is really important. If at any point in any of the 3 games you take a hit that you're not expecting to and have a Kong that you don't want in front, it can usually lead to bad movement. If it's Donkey, you're dead. In Donkey Kong Country 2, it's a little more
Wonderful Arik fight by Suzuri.
Yep. Making up time. So Suzuri does indeed have the best PB of these players and is a very accomplished 103 player as well. So if anybody can make up this lead, he can. And I've mentioned a trick called Bleak Skip once already. We'll talk more about it when it comes, but it is very much the great equalizer in this race. Anybody can win.
Alright, so Supreme just finished with the first auto-scroller in Mechanos, and guess what? There's another auto-scroller right after.
Yep.
Rare why.
2 auto-scrollers early in the game, back-to-back, after a world filled with warps. Yeah, this game's a little slower to get started, but it ends crazy. So the thing that they're trying to do here in this game is trying not to kill the rats. Every rat they don't kill saves a couple frames.
Yeah, 2 frames.
So basically in this game, you get to save the frames and save the animals. making it objectively the best speedrunning game.
Objectively the best.
Objectively the best.
And, you know, with that said, auto scrollers, so donations, you got it.
All right, wanted to take this opportunity to have a donation from Amanda Conway, who donates $40 and says, "Let's go Team Diddy, looking forward to seeing Supreme crush DKC3.
That's Supreme's wife, Amanda.
Also, we have from Marin Wen 08, $75. Woot, Donkey Kong races for the win. This is for my mom who just found out she is cancer-free this past August, and my grandma who passed away last year. Keep up the great runs." Lindsay15 donates $20 and says, "I may not be watching or really know anything about games, but my boyfriend loves watching this every year, and I wanted to donate to show my support for the awesome things you guys are doing." Reed246 donates $75. "I finally got my paycheck today, and I had to donate now during my favorite of the DKC trilogy of games. Thanks so much to the staff, volunteers, and mods who have worked so hard this week to make this event so much fun and so successful."
All right, Supreme is moving on to Blazing Bazookas. A stage that's a little bit scary to do with Solo Dixie, but as Claude mentioned earlier, it's a lot faster to load these barrels when you only have one Kong. Movement through this stage is pretty precise. I wouldn't expect anything too dramatic from them, but it is a little bit risky with Dixie by herself.
Taking a little bit slowly on the ropes to not get owned by the TNT there.
Important skip coming up right here. By having Solo, ooh, that was very close.
That's not even possible if you have Kitty.
Yeah, if you have Kitty and have to wait for that barrel to load, you're gonna have to wait a cycle there for a cannon or a TNT to go by. But somehow he makes that. That was a little scary. And Nocturne is hot on his heels.
All right, that was pretty good.
Yep. So Supreme will be keeping Solo Dixie through the first part of this stage. He's going to pick up Kitty with when he turns into Squawks about halfway through the level, because when you grab a DK barrel while transformed into an animal buddy, there is no delay in picking up your partner.
Yeah, low G, really, honestly, not the best stage. Just move at half speed, and all the jumps and glides are pretty awkward. And also, there's a very difficult mashing section at the end.
Yeah, it's a very costly stage to die in. In true RTA attempts, players will not grab the midpoint, but I'll be curious to see if Supreme does here. He does not. So yeah, this with the movement being as slow as it is in this stage, any mistake is very costly at this point. Nocturne, meanwhile, moving very smoothly through Blazing Bazookas, and Suzuri going through, I guess, the gauntlet of this game, just having patience for the auto-scrollers.
Yeah, with the correct pixel alignment, you can just flap between the Bs there on the right. Same with this trick coming up here called Vine Clip. Don't worry about the name, but Supreme gets it very quickly as well.
Very, very nice setup. That's not as easy to do as he just made that look. No hesitation at all for him.
Yeah, if you get hit there, unlike in DKC2, when you get hit as an animal in DKC3, you become the other Kong, whereas in DKC2, you just stay the same Kong no matter what. And being Kitty here at the end of this section is really bad because you have to do a series of short hops over the Bs compared to this glide that Supreme just did.
Yep. Right, so Chaos is the first boss that's the first major difference between the Japanese and United States versions of this game. You probably have noticed we're playing on J for all 3 players on this game, and it's not just players' preference. J is actually a faster category for the aforementioned Bleak Skip, but what we do lose, unfortunately, is that Chaos is a little bit less interesting of a fight. In previous GDQs, what you've seen is players use team throws to kind of stack on top. Supreme has to take a damage boost to do a little more damage, but it's possible to basically kill him really quickly in the U version by just throwing and hovering in the air.
And sadly, that glitch does not work in the Japanese version, but there's still a little bit of tech to Chaos. You can see that a Supreme landed on the right of Chaos there. That makes him move a little bit less distance. And also, he's probably going to be trying to line up his Kong so that the blades spawn on the same side as Kitty.
Yep.
Saves about 1 second each time.
Vine clip from Nocturne, moving very confidently through low G.
Oh, it's like Supreme's not going to go for that tech, excuse me.
Nocturne positioned very, very well there for the end. And Suzuri coming into low G Labyrinth.
Alright, cool.
Pretty clean fight for Supreme. Very good World 3 as well.
Yeah, very, very nice World 3. Weirdly, though, that is World 4 in the game normally. The World 4 we're doing, or the 4th world we're doing now, is a little bit easier, I think, but it's faster to do it in this order because of the way it sets up the Kong order, which, as I've mentioned, is critical. Let's see how Suzuri handles the squawk section of low G. Water stages are a bit awkward in this game too. The water physics is very different. There are many of us and many of the players you're watching out there who run all 3 of these games, and switching from swimming in DKC 1 and 2 to swimming in DKC 3 is pretty different. Suzuri taking a little more time on Vine Clip, gets it no problem though. No hits, very nice.
Better to take your time than just risk getting hit, always. Well, slowing down at the end there, just to be absolutely safe.
Yeah, he is not willing to die in low G, and I do not blame him.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's going to have to make some risky decisions to try to catch up here, but this is not a place to mess with it.
Also, you see that Nocturne did, in fact, get these same side blades. I guess he does go for the tech. Saves about 1 second per instance.
Supreme did a little bit of camera manipulation there to try to get the, what are they called, Bazas?
Yep.
To spawn and let him through quicker.
He does have to pause at the end, though, no matter what.
So one water stage separating our 1st and 2nd place runners right now. Supreme coming into 4-2, which is our first waterfall level of the game. This is actually a really neat level. We're going to see some cool damage boosts in this stage. First one from Kitty, second one from Dixie. Also, a lot of people like this music quite a bit. Some important jumps here for Supreme. Chooses not to roll through that guy, probably a wise choice.
A little bit faster to do so, but if you mess it up, he'll turn around and bite you.
You don't want to get bit. Nocturne, meanwhile, moving through no problem, and Suzuri looking... Is he solo Kitty? Yeah, he is. Okay, that's right, the damage boost.
Yeah.
So he's almost done then with Chaos. Grabbing Dixie here to be able to do a team throw shortly. Save a little bit of time.
Getting out of that B is a little bit trickier than it looks. Very close there, and he's going to get hit intentionally here to have solo Dixie back, not to enter the barrels with 1 Kong, but to reduce lag, because there is going to be a lot of lag in the next stage if he actually goes in with Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty makes a lot of lag in this next stage.
This game came out in 1996, close to the end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle, so I'm pretty sure they just tried pushing the limits of the Super Nintendo with this game and many others that came past 1996.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, even that one more sprite of Kitty's on the screen makes things move a lot more slowly.
You can even see that the grabbing the midpoint lags the game a little bit, but obviously you're going to want to grab that for safety because this is one of the first levels where there's a somewhat significant chance of death.
Yeah. They know where to jump, they know where to hover, but one tiny mistake in those TNT barrels are going to grab you.
Just wanted to take the opportunity to announce that we have crossed the $900,000 donation mark. Thank you to everybody who's been donating all week long.
Very, very exciting. I don't know, what do you think? We can raise another 100,000 in the next 40 minutes?
Depends how long they're on Bleak Skip.
Oh. All right, Nocturne finishing up nicely, 3-2. And Suzuri moving on as well. All three runners having very solid starts to this game. There's not quite as much to look for in 4-4. Couple damage boosts, couple throws, mostly just moving correctly with the barrels. See how Nocturne handles clasps. Intentional damage there, boosts Kitty over to the other tracker barrel.
You'll be seeing one more damage boost at the end.
Well done, Supreme.
Great.
Not bad.
That roll into that jump is a little tighter than it looks.
So not only is that faster in order to cross the gap, but it'll also give him solo Dixie for 5-1, which is another stage that has auto fire barrels.
Yes, you did hear that correctly. We're setting up for 5-1 already. So they're going to try to do this next stage with solo Dixie, somewhat noteworthy stage in this game in which you have to actually try to feed your fish.
Yeah, the feeding mechanic in this game is a little bit strange. Sometimes the fish will just refuse to eat and really mess up your movement trying to fix it. Fortunately, if you just try and move consistently, you'll consistently make it through, I guess.
Yeah. So again, they know exactly what to do, and as long as they move and the fish eats when he's supposed to, there shouldn't be any problems.
Sometimes he'll just move off screen though, and you'll have a lot of trouble trying to get him back. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, if he goes off screen, as happened to me the other day, he will come back and eat you. Again, intentionally avoiding the DK barrel. Other two players moving very nicely through their respective levels. Nocturne going for those last couple damage boosts. Supreme should be okay here.
It's actually having a very nice fish food frenzy. I can tell by the audio cue.
Yeah, you can see that lag on Suzuri's screen. Even with solo Dixie in that part of the stage, it just slows down much worse when you have both Kongs. All right, and Supreme is on to Squirt. And if anybody has any idea what we're about to see, we would like to know.
I have no idea what this boss is.
We don't know what this is.
Yeah, this is the only time we're gonna see our elephant friend, I guess, Ellie.
I mean, seriously, what is that? Like, is it part of the wall?
Might be.
Somebody help.
Demon Wall.
Demon Wall. Shoutouts to FF4 and 7. So I guess if this is a Demon Wall, DKC3 is the best Final Fantasy.
Better ask Fathel about that. He's a true Final Fantasy main.
Yeah, of course, all these runners are very good at many games, so definitely worth following all of them. Nocturne having a pretty smooth Fish Food Frenzy as well. Suzuri going for those damage boosts, no troubles there.
The only...
Oh! Supreme trolling Blunt Bunny a little bit. One of our Link to the Past runners and last GDQ's DKC3 runner. It's worth calling out that we actually have while we have these 9 players, we have several backups for every single game here. So there's a very large community around all these games. And Zara to my left was our DKC1 backup. Namix and Christmas on the couch back there were our DKC2 backups. And then Blunt Bunny we had for our DKC3 backups. So fortunately, all of our runners were able to make it and perform, but we definitely have a very strong community showing here
The
at
support
AGDQ.
is real.
So 5-1.
Oh, it's a short death. Not too much time.
That's not too
left.
costly, but it does give us a bit of a lead. So we're going into World 5. Claude, tell us a little bit about World 5.
Yeah, so World 5 is when the game, like, it truly gets real. Like, before it was just kind of like the prelude. This is where there's a significant chance of death in more than one stage.
Yeah, I like to compare, well, I guess I'll back up a sec. DKC1 and DKC2 have very nice natural difficulty curves. I mean, the worlds get gradually harder as you progress through the game, but DKC3 is much more like running into a brick wall. Once you hit World 5, it starts to get really, really difficult, and it's built that way. So this isn't speed tech that makes it hard, it's just that the levels themselves are more difficult. But definitely take note of how quickly Dixie moves up these ropes. It's
And gets shot out of the barrel.
and gets shot out of
by
the barrels,
herself.
absolutely. It's definitely one of the more fun things to do is to go up Dixie ropes as quickly as possible in this game.
Trying to do the ropes of Kitty is just like a nightmare. There's like some kind of like input delay on the way he goes up the ropes. You have to do it here because it's a little bit faster to set the Kong order for the next level, but even that one section is just like kind of a nightmare.
So it looks like Suzuri's through fish food and on to that, whatever it is. And we've got another auto-scroller here.
This auto-scroller works similarly to Haunted Hall in that you want to jump up and down the slopes, but where you jump is a little bit critical. So it looks like Nocturne did grab the extra Kong. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or just a safety strap. But,
Pretty sure he entered level with both Kongs.
Okay.
Safety strap then. We could probably take a donation here.
All right. Sunshine Bunny donates $20 and says, "This relay has been so intense. I'm loving every moment. Keep it up, runners." And Dreamer donates $100 and says, "This Donkey Kong relay is insane. I have to give money to the pure skill that I'm witnessing. Keep running and rolling."
So Nocturne choosing to take the damage boost there after the accidental hit. So his Kong order is a little off. You will have to do a team swap after the next level.
Now the next stage that we're coming up to on Team Diddy's screen is barrel drop bounce. This is quite a long level, but in the any percent route, we do a lot of team throws to skip significant portions of the level. In fact, one's coming up right about, well, yep, right about now. We're gonna skip a quarter of the stage right here. There we
Just
go.
like that. Yeah, this stage is Team Throw City. The hardest of those throws is coming up in a moment. What you're gonna see is Supreme jump onto a falling barrel, team up, jump to a pretty specific location in the air, do another team throw to hit another falling barrel, and then jump quickly to throw again before it falls too far away from the ledge.
Affectionately called the hardest trick in the game, although it's definitely not the hardest trick in the game. We'll be seeing that shortly.
And he gets it.
That's BDB skip.
Really long stage to really short stage, just like that.
Coming up is probably one of my favorite levels. It's called Crack Shot Croc, but I've given it the name Purple Strawberry Milkshake Factory.
Yeah, it's the Web Woods of this game, although it's not nearly as difficult as Web Woods. And as you can see, our boy Shoes the Spiders making his way through. The platforms work a little bit differently in this game. Instead of hitting L and R at the same time, there has to be at least one frame separating the L and R inputs in order for the web to form.
Yeah, people do, like Claude said, people do often call this Web Woods, but the only thing it really has in common with Web Woods is that the spider is there. I don't believe that was intentional damage.
It was.
It was? Okay. Claude more experienced with this game than I am.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little. 8 minutes.
No, I've done a few runs.
8 minutes or so. So he was trying to do another damage boost like the ones you saw in Web Woods there, but misses the input a little bit. Not a big deal. Kong order is still fine. little more intentional damage here, faster to run under those guys. And he will not be grabbing the Kong barrel up there because it's really important that he has solo Dixie for the next level for lag reduction reasons and general movement.
Looks like Supreme took an extra web there on the climb just to be absolutely safe.
Not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice at all.
So the next level we're coming up to is called Lemguin Lunge. Another level that we're definitely going to want solo Dixie for.
Yep. So Lemguin Lunge is an interesting level. The hitboxes on these Lemguins is very erratic. They can hit you when you're not expecting to be hit. I don't know, anything else about the Lemguins, Claude?
Yeah, it's just you really want to approach them at the same time each time, because unlike other enemies in DKC, they spawn actually quite a few, far distance away from your Kong, whereas most enemies just spawn like a little bit outside the screen. So.
But that said, after this level is something called Bleak Skip, and we will be asking for silence from everyone in the room for Bleak Skip. The audio levels are a little bit low, so please no applause when a runner gets it, but this is basically a jump roll. They're going to try to press start as they die. So they're going to intentionally take some hit, and if they're able to press start when they die at the right frame, they skip the boss. This can make or break the run. If Supreme nails it first try, Team Diddy's basically going to win. If he takes a long time, Suzuri could catch up. There's just no way to know for sure. So silence, please, everyone. Nope.
He gets it second try.
Second try for Supreme.
Excellent.
That's amazing. Supreme was working very, very hard on that trick earlier today, and the TVs here have slightly different delay than his at home. It is indeed an audio cue. I don't know if I specified that or not, but very, very impressive from Supreme. Anything quick about the next level, Claude, before Nocturne gets to Bleak?
It's one of the more interesting movement-based stages in the game. Like just the way you have to take the corners with the parrots, and also the deboost you do makes it probably one of the best squawk space levels in the trilogy. But
yep.
That's all I have to say.
Yep. So Nocturne. Oh, sorry, Zara. Go ahead.
Oh no, never mind. Go ahead.
Bleak Skip coming up here for Nocturne. So again, silence, please. Late on the pause.
Okay, I guess.
Late again. I guess we can't hear his audio, so I don't know if he's early or late.
Nice. That's
Yep.
it.
All right.
Nocturne gets it.
Good.
Not an easy trick. But he's got his work cut out for him now if he wants to catch Team Diddy. Definitely going to need a mistake from Supreme in order to pull it off. So we're coming up on a level here called Confused Clips, and or more affectionately called Burn Your Rope. What we like to do in DKC3 is give a little update, but we'll go ahead and let Suzuri have his Bleak Skip tries first. So again, a little more silence. Awesome Bleak Skips from all three runners. I gotta say, I don't know that I was expecting all of them to get it that quickly. That's very impressive. I didn't see how many it took Nocturne, but couldn't have been more than 4, 5, 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. How many is it exactly to before that loses time against fighting the boss normally?
I believe as long as you get a 4th try, you're still saving
Fourth
time.
try.
Maybe 5th is about even.
So yeah, so Nocturne broke even against fighting the boss normally. The other 2 players saved significant time. Sadly, since Supreme got it so early, Suzuri didn't really save much there, but he didn't fall any more behind. But we are in Burn Your Rope, so Burn Your Rope update. DKC3 tradition, this is probably the longest auto-scroller that you do in a speedrun of these games, so usually runners like to pause for a moment and talk a little bit about how their runs are going. So what do you guys think so far? How has this race been?
Dang, this went by too fast. What?
Feels like we just started.
What's a speed run?
Well, yeah. Pretty good time, though.
Yeah, pretty good. Waffle's DKC2 run was absolutely incredible.
Easen's DKC1 run
Easen's
as well. Very
DKC,
good.
yeah, the way that Waffle and Easen played, there's not much you can really do. Silent Wolf, of course, had a very, very strong run as well, but just missed the jump rolls. He missed the frames, and that's DKC1.
But he got a 34-13, though.
He did get a 34-13, so
amazing.
he might be the true, or that was Fathlow, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Fathlow. So he might be the true champion of this whole thing.
World record is 34-13 by the RPC.
Forever and ever.
In all 3 categories, or all 3 games.
All 3 games, all categories. Sorry, the memes are real, ladies and gentlemen.
So we're about to see the only piece of Burn Your Rope. Oh, actually, we're not going to see it. There's a way to do the end of that stage a little bit faster. You do an off-screen jump and make it onto the flag, which is like the only time-influencing thing you can do in that stage. It's like no lag reduction or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Floodlit Fish, another on-guard base level, and on-guard is pretty OP in this game. Like, as long as he's charging, he's pretty much invincible. The only thing that can hurt him are like fully closed lurchins, and that's about it.
Which I somehow still always hit, so I still hate the fish in this game. But that said, they're again, as with the other dark levels in the series, they're not going to be taking any extra hits on light. In fact, they're going to not want to hit any of those light fish things because it just would be really slow to bounce off of them. And it really doesn't matter. They know where they're going. They know what to do. No need for light. You really do get a sense of how long Burn Your Rope is too, watching these 3 side by side, because Suzuri was pretty far behind, but they're in that stage. So together. Very good DKC3 runs from all players.
Yeah, other than Belief Skip, I can't remember anything tragic happening to any of them.
I can't.
One really small death on Supreme's side,
That's
but
right.
even then, it was just rather small.
Also the Auric mishaps, I
A
suppose.
little
Yeah,
bit goes
that
wrong with
too.
Auric. Suzuri definitely had the best Auric fight. Coming up here, what's this stage called again?
Pothole
Panic, yes.
Full of friends.
Full of Friends, Japanese name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is kind of like Animal Antics Junior in a sense. You get to see pretty much all the animal buddies in this game. We won't be seeing all those animal buddies because some of them are too slow, but...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing the elephant.
No, I think she made her one and only appearance with the squirt, but...
Okay, yeah.
I believe that was the only appearance of Green Squawks as well. It's actually a little bit faster to skip him, but it only saves about 0.5 seconds on this version of the game.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Nocturne or Suzuri try to go for the squawk skip here in the next stage.
Placing my money on Suzuri's going to.
Yeah, so switch to Kitty under the water because switching under the water is a little bit faster in
Here
all
we
3
have
games.
we have a nice water bounce coming up.
Yep, let's see if he gets it. Little delay there to avoid the bombs. Gets
Excellent.
it.
Much
Very
harder than it
nice.
looks.
See ya, Shoes. I believe Shoes' last appearance of the series.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're done. All right, so there's a trick in this next stage called the 2-1 jump, which I'm curious if Supreme will try to go for it. He's been struggling with it this week, and he has a very significant lead. He's going to try at least a couple times, but yeah, he's
okay,
not doing
no.
it. Yeah.
We're just gonna do natural route.
So,
this is okay.
doing natural route with Dixie is about 10 seconds slower than a first try 2-1 jump. So what Supreme is doing here is basically securing his lead. He's gonna gamble that the other players are gonna take a little bit longer, but he's got such a big lead now that even if he loses that 10 seconds and both other players get it first try, he's still gonna be pretty far ahead. So wise move from a relay perspective.
pretty soon we'll be seeing some 2-1 jumps on Team Dixie's screen.
Yeah, so what exactly is a 2-1 jump?
So you press the jump button and the team up button within 2 frames of each other, and then some amount of frames later, I want to say like maybe 11 or so, you press the jump button again, and then you get an extended jump upwards, and that allows you to team throw into the barrel above you that skips about 10 seconds of the level, as you said.
And I believe you were the one who found that?
Yeah, kind of unfortunate that a lot of the tricks that get found in this game just happen to be 1 frame. Like, nothing easy in DKC3.
No. DKC3, like I said, used to be the most pure platforming game, but it ended up with its share of 1-frame nightmares. They're probably worse in this game because Bleak actually stops your run cold.
Yep. Oh, Nocturne taking a hit there. He's going to have to, if he wants to attempt the 2-1 jump, he's going to have to grab another Kong and go backwards to the stage.
I kind of expect him to do it. Meanwhile, Supreme setting up the Barbos quick kill.
Oh, getting
misses
hit.
it. That's a bad hit. He's going to have to take Barbos a little more slowly, giving the other players a tiny chance to catch up. Now keep in mind, he does have a large lead right now, but World 7 in this game is very, very difficult.
I guess we won't be seeing the 2-1 jump on Nocturne.
I know Cesuri will go for it. He said he was feeling very confident.
Yeah, Cesuri got it like second try earlier. No, and I would be shocked if he doesn't.
I'm also pretty sure the 2-1 jump is Cesuri's most not liked trick of all the games. Well, of 3 at least.
All right, Barbos is done on Supreme's side.
Very nice.
So World 7, as I mentioned, every stage, very difficult, chance to die in every level, and then K-Rool himself poses a little bit of a challenge in this speed run.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the hardest world, but it's definitely the easiest to die in and the easiest to choke, so it's definitely not over.
Just wanted to take this opportunity to say that LHC wants us to kill all the things with a $1,000 donation.
Very nice.
Cesuri seems committed to the 2-1 jump here. I don't think he's going to leave until he gets it. However long that may be.
Yeah, he's going to want to show us. I can tell. There it is.
Try, okay. He gets it.
Breaks about even. Oh, it goes for the additional little time saver there. Yeah, that saves about 1 second. It's a 3-frame window.
Yep. So yeah, that like we said, that's about even with doing the stage normally. So all runners coming through this stage at about the same time. Glad you got to see it though. So thank you to Cesuri, showing us Americans how it's done.
The end of the stage, conveyor rope clash is pretty tricky. You can see that Supreme's just taking his time, making sure he doesn't get owned by the bees. Nocturne showing us the real strat for Barbos here, not taking any damage and just piercing his barrier.
Yeah, there's a pretty precise location that you can position yourself to charge into in front of Barbos and then cause his little missiles to hit the Lurchins on the side much more quickly.
Supreme is now in 7-2, which is probably the most luck-based level, not boss, but level in the entire trilogy here. There's about 10 seconds of variance between the best possible luck with how the ghost barrels are facing compared to the worst possible luck. Supreme's taking it very, very slowly. He doesn't want to throw this away. So it probably won't matter what RNG he gets. Like even grabbing the midpoint, yeah.
Very, very nice Barbos fight from Cesuri as well.
So I'm getting some bad luck towards the end, but
I've said it a few times, but again, all 3 runners having very, very good runs here.
here we're seeing the pause buffer here. If you can't react to which way the barrel's facing, you just pause the game for a little bit to check it out for yourself. Us old men like to do that because we don't have the young man reaction times.
Yeah. So you saw an interesting little damage boost there at the end of that stage where it looks like Kitty stops being invincible as he's in the middle of the B. The iframes and the actual invincibility property don't quite match up, so as long as you do that consistently, it is safe, but it's definitely scary to try for the first time. That said, we're into RNG Lightning.
Oh, is it RNG? I don't think that's exactly true. So, yeah, it's The way the lightning works is that it's entirely based on your positioning and the route you take through the level. If you move the same each time, the lightning will always be in the same spot, and these runners have practiced this stage quite a bit so that they'll hopefully be able to get the full manipulation on the lightning and not have any mishaps.
Yeah, it's definitely the best example we have in the game of even a tiny change of what you're used to can make for big death, I guess. And not just the game, in the whole series. I mean, it's something we've said a lot, but this stage is the best example. Tiny mistakes here from Supreme. Let's see how he can react to it.
Gonna take a little bit slowly here. Oh, wow, very close.
Intentional hit there. He should be back on the cycle now. What did you call it earlier, Claude? The step count?
Yeah, the step route, of course.
And he's through.
Very nice.
All right, very nice.
Just also wanted to take this opportunity to read a donation from Steegy. 7 rolls, 3 skips, so here's $10 per roll/skip, plus another $10 per roll skip on behalf of each runner. $1,000 donation.
All right, so Nocturne now going into Lightning Lookout. He was probably the first person to actually try for the lightning manipulation, other than maybe Riz, a Japanese runner. And he really disliked it when people said that the lightning was random, because it's very clearly not. So I expect him to do pretty well on the stage, even if he doesn't use the more traditional manipulation that Suzuri and Supreme are going to use.
Yeah, Nocturne definitely has the best lightning lookout I've ever seen. Very impressive. I'd say he almost makes DKC3 look like DKC2 with how well he does this level.
Yeah, I should be going for a Nocturne exclusive strat at the end that saves about 0.7 seconds that I've never seen anyone else do.
Little bit of issue here, but I think he's okay. Supreme, meanwhile, makes it through Coin Dozer Clamor, which is another stage that's very easy to mistime a jump and get knocked into a pit. And of course, in Donkey Kong Country, purple means backwards. The controls are reversed in this, so left means right and right means left. And even with that, this is kind of a difficult water stage too.
Sorry, so Nocturne have a pretty good lightning lookout. See if he goes, yeah,
He did.
under the B.
Under the B, wow.
Saves about 0.7 seconds. I've only ever seen him do that.
Not bad. That was good. Whereas Suzuri's not backing down at all. He's just keeping hot on his trail.
Suzuri, I believe, on pace for the full manipulation here, unlike the other two who had some issues. It'd be cool if he could show it off. So far, so good.
Intentional hit there by Supreme to get Kitty in front for the final boss of the trilogy.
So K-Rool, unlike the other two K-Rools in this game, is definitely not a glorified cutscene or auto-scroller. He is pretty real, and there is some pretty real tech you can do to save significant amounts of time. And Suzuri makes it through Lightning Lookout as well. Very nice.
Yep, so Kitty is used a little bit for the Chaos fight here on the first round, and then after this, it's basically, if you're Kitty, you're dead. He makes the fight much, much slower. There's a lot of really cool speed tech you can do with Dixie in the second half of this fight. So a very fitting end to this trilogy of games.
Yeah, usually if you lose Dixie at any point in the actual K-Rool fight, most players will just die rather than try and beat it with Kitty because it's just that bad.
Suzuri grabbing the midpoint. Interesting choice.
Good call.
Yeah, as I said, those coin dozers can knock you into a pit at any given moment.
A little bit of RNG as to where K-Rool actually lands when he stops bouncing. Supreme gets that second hit, very nice. It's a little bit harder than it looks. So there's a strat here that you can do called Task Cable. It saves about 5 seconds, but I very much doubt the Supreme's going to go for it as he already has a significant lead. So going to take the nice safe strat here and try and close this out.
All right, get ready on time for Team Diddy.
Yep, time will be when they collect the coin.
Oh, what? Misses the lever.
All right, tiny mistake there, not a big deal. But he is going to have to wait.
Yeah, the cycles, if you miss any of the levers here, it really throws off your cycles. Okay. Oh.
Ooh, oh, takes a hit.
Oh, I think Supreme seems, ooh, what a dodge.
This is close.
Gonna take it nice and safe. Okay.
He's locking this in. That got a little scarier than it needed to. Time.
Good job, y'all.
Very well done. So I didn't see quite when Suzuri started, but I believe we did have all 3 runners in the final boss at the same time. Is that correct? Very close, if not. So, I mean, through 3 Donkey Kong Country games, basically all the players finishing the final boss at the same time is absolutely crazy.
Let's see if Nocturne goes for Task K rule here. I think at this point you might as well.
Yeah, there are pretty advanced strats you can do in this. Suzuri's definitely going to go for it.
Yeah, Suzuri has his own version of Task K rule that's a little bit safer. I'm sure he'll show off.
Definitely.
All right, we should probably get ready on time for Team Dixie.
Nice clean fight from Nocturne.
Yeah, that was good. And time.
So you see here for Suzuri, he's going to play a little bit of this fight as Kitty. This is on purpose because he wants to take damage at one point in order to make one cycle a little bit faster.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
All right, intentional hit here.
Oh no! Barely misses it. Barely misses it. I hope he does it again because that's cool. So fortunately, if you do die on this boss, you don't have to do chaos again. So that's why sometimes, as Claude was saying, if people get hit early with Dixie, they'll just die to get her back right away. Unfortunate there with K Rool, but that's what he does.
Yeah, if you're watching Nocturne's fight, like he just kills off Kitty right away because like there's no point. Like if I get hit and I might as well die. Like, I'm not going to play with Kitty, and killing Kitty actually reduces a little bit of lag in this fight.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear
Yeah, since he missed that, that's unfortunate. Since he missed that first throw, now the levers are going to be a slightly different pattern.
I believe Suzuri's going to go for the more traditional K Rool kill now. Just try and close it out.
Yep.
It's very standard.
But yeah, you've definitely seen some examples here in this fight, both from Supreme and Suzuri, of why this boss is a little more interesting than the other 2 Donkey Kong Country games.
All
Hit.
And
relay.
time. Wonderful.
Nicely done.
Very nice. Well played, all 9 runners. Very, very well done. So yeah, I think that's about it for us. I don't know, any final thoughts on the race, guys?
Warms my heart to see Donkey Kong being played by 9 people on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
And I believe I saw no math in that run either.
Nor any V cheaters.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Great, thanks. We'll throw it back to the host for some more donations. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated.
All right, round of applause to all of the runners here for an awesome race. Let's take the opportunity to get through a few more donations here. Anonymous donates $25 and says, cancer prevention saved my life. I went for my annual physical and they discovered precancerous cells. At this stage, it was a simple matter of removing the cells, but left undiscovered, they would have become cancer and caused many problems. Early detection methods is something I am very grateful for. Great job, runners. Have fun, everybody. Guo with $75 says that my mom is a breast cancer survivor, so I had to donate again this GDQ. Been watching every event in the past 3 years. Glad to see it still growing. Keep it up, everyone. You're all doing something great here. And Disco Superfly also donates $100 and also